run over the final 9.5 minutes by Florida. Down by 6 at that juncture, and they started making shots, and UConn really had a hard time getting shots to fall. Not counting some of these in the final minute or so. They at one point were like 2 for 12 from the floor, and Florida stopped turning the ball over, and UConn couldn't stop them from scoring. They outscored UConn by 2 in the second half. The game was tied at 31 at halftime. And after these teams played 6 times earlier, UConn lost the first one in the NCAA's Sweet 16 in overtime in '94, won the last 5, including a Final Four game in 2014 when they were down 16.
With Malik Brown suffering an injury late in the year, actually twice, but the second time in particular, and not being available in the post-rotation, he really stepped up big time in the ACC tournament, and then he's continued to do that here in this tournament.
Yeah, no question. And to me, a lot of it is his defense, right? I mean, you think about, we've known he's a skilled offensive player. We've seen moves in and around the basket, but 8 of his 14 blocks on the year have come in the postseason. The 3 ACC tournament games, and then, of course, here in Raleigh the other afternoon. And what a lift that brings, as you mentioned, with the injury to Malik Brown, to spell Kaman Malawach, and also that kind of experience in live action. Who knows what happens in the NCAA tournament if Kaman deals with foul trouble? Now you've got someone who's not coming out there for the first time feeling that sort of game pressure, and obviously Cooper Flagg plays in the post as well. But to me, that has been really important to see his development, and it's what has been driving John Shire's group all season long. Yes, this roster was built around Cooper Flagg. We knew that going in, but there's so many different pieces to the puzzle. I mean, you think about what Duke's been. We were talking about last game going in. Kahn was averaging like 19 points a game over his last 9. He only had 6 in the game against Mount St. Mary's, and you barely noticed with the way Tyrese Proctor picked up his production and the Blue Devils rolled by 40+. I just think it speaks to what this team is doing, and touching on Gungba's piece of it as well. Caleb Foster's in there. I mean, there's so many different threads you can pull at. Isaiah Evans didn't have his best game in the opener, 0 for 5 from 3, 4 points, and you know at any point he can go get you 20. That is why Duke is one of the favorite teams, not only to make it to San Antonio, but to cut down the nets on Championship Monday. Yeah,
absolutely. And you mentioned the possibility of foul trouble cropping up at any time. It actually did in the first half with Kaman picking up 2 fouls the other day. Pat came in and was excellent, and I think you gave some of his stats earlier, but you know, the 9 points, 8 rebounds, 3 blocks, also a couple of assists. What a great passer. And he played 18 minutes in that contest, so certainly he got used to that aspect of it as well, and we're looking forward to seeing how that continues here in the NCAA tournament. Okay, we're going to take a break, and then we're going to continue on with more pregame for Duke and Baylor. Our countdown to tip-off right now is about 30 minutes away. The Blue Devils and the Bears from Raleigh to get to the Sweet 16. More when we continue on the Reach Jewelers countdown to tip-off.
This season, Duke basketball has teamed up with Duke Children's for the Charity Stripe 1000 Challenge. Thanks to 605 Hoops Heroes, over $19,000 has already been raised for the kids at Duke Children's. Fans, it's not too late to join our team and show your support. Give your $25 by texting Hoops Hero to 919-372-4159. That's 919-372-4159, and become a Duke Children's Hoops Hero today.
Oh my goodness!
FanDuel Sports Network is your new home for your home teams.
That's what I'm talking about!
Watch all the big hits.
Oh, mercy!
Big shots.
What a dime!
Big goals.
He scores!
All in one place.
Are you kidding me?
For coverage of Blue Devils athletics, the Carolina Hurricanes, and the Charlotte Hornets, visit FanDuelSportsNetwork.com today and watch all season long.
You're listening to Duke basketball in the NCAA tournament. We'll return to Raleigh in 1 minute.
Sometimes the craving for Bojangles Supremes is so strong you just gotta have them. Even when your gas tank is on empty and Bojangles is still 10 miles down the highway. Nothing beats the flavor of Bojangles Juicy Golden Supremes, especially when they're part of a perfect combo with 4 boldly seasoned chicken Supremes, a made-from-scratch biscuit, fixin', and some legendary iced tea. The only thing that can satisfy your hunger is that delicious southern flavor. So when the craving is supreme, put the pedal to the metal. It's Bo time.
Which schools will take home the prestigious Learfield Directors Cup as the top college athletic programs for the 2024-25 college athletics season? You can follow the standings of your favorite team or alma mater at L Directors Cup on Twitter and online at thedirectorscup.com. Trophies will be awarded in June 2025 to the winning institutions in all college sports divisions. Learfield Directors Cup, the crowning achievement in college athletics.
Welcome back to our Reed's Jewelers Countdown to Tip-Off. Reed's Jewelers is your home for fine Swiss timepieces, beautiful diamonds, and the world's most luxurious jewelry brands. Visit your local Reed's Jewelers store or online at reeds.com. Looking forward to Duke and Baylor coming up in about 26 minutes here at the Lenovo Center in Raleigh. Both teams out on the floor warming up right now for this second round contest. And what's on the line is the right to move on to Newark, New Jersey in the Sweet 16 of the East Regional. For the Blue Devils, they'll certainly have to contend with a familiar face on the other side of the lineup in Norchad Omier, the center for this Baylor team. Used to be the center for Miami when they went to the Final Four in 2023. Had some good games against the Blue Devils. John Shire knows what he's going up against in Norchad Omier.
He's as good of a rebounder to me as there is in college. He's got great touch around the basket. One-on-one defense against him is important. And then he's basically playing the whole game. It's not like there's any break from guarding him. Like he's doing everything for their team. But I think his rebounding is high level, and his game is just continuing to grow in terms of putting the ball on the floor, shooting occasional threes. He's a force now.
Duke coach John Shire looking forward to seeing what the Blue Devils do with Norchad Omier. Of course, he's a double-double machine, to be honest, so far this year. Well, like in their game against Mississippi State on Friday, had his 10th straight double-double. It was his 22nd of the season, which is the most in the country. And it was the 90th of his career, which has covered 5 seasons at 3 different schools, Arkansas State, of course, Miami, and now Baylor. And there have only been a couple of players in college basketball history with more double-doubles in a career than Norchad Omier. So the Blue Devils are going to be conscious of him in the lane, in the paint, on the glass, and anything they can do to slow him down this afternoon. He does lead them in scoring and rebounding on the season, averaging a double-double on the year with 15.8 points and 10.9 rebounds per game. We got a lot more to get to you before we tip this contest off, including David Shoemate's conversation with Duke coach John Shire. That and more coming up when we continue from Raleigh on the Reed's Jewelers Countdown to Tip-Off.
Cut time, cut costs, cut grass. Double your runtime with free extra battery deals on steel tools and cut through your spring cleaning to-do list. Mow, trim, cut, prune. Do it all with Steel Battery. Find your deal at your local Steel dealer or shop online at steelusa.com. Get a free extra battery with select Steel tool set. Set includes battery and charger. Extra batteries up to $160 MSRP value. Offer valid for limited time only at participating dealers while supplies last.
It's tournament time for your Blue Devils. You can show your support of Duke all year long by purchasing authentic Duke merchandise from DukeStore.com. Our huge assortment of Duke apparel means you won't have to go anywhere else for the perfect t-shirt, jersey, sweatshirt, or hat. The only collection of Duke merchandise in the world that actually comes to you directly from Duke University. DukeStore.com, where real Duke fans shop.
Duke, Baylor.
Jumps up from 3. Give it to him!
We'll have more from Raleigh after this local break.
This is Coke Zero Sugar. Could I be the best Coke ever? Try and taste with your ears. Hear those bubbles? Imagine them tingling on your tongue. Fizzy deliciousness. Listen to that cascading liquid. A mouth-watering waterfall. Irresistibly tasty. Zero sugar. Crisp, refreshing, and ice cold. Is Coke Zero Sugar the best Coke ever? Try and decide.
Bye
ball!
It's college baseball season, and we're here to talk about it.
Every week, join Kyle Schasberger and me, David Kahn, as we deliver the best of college baseball.
We've got all the Diamond talk you can imagine, with interviews from coaches, players, broadcasters, and more.
Plus, we'll give you our weekly rankings, hot takes, and a whole lot of fun.
Step into the batter's box, so let us deliver our best fastball.
Wherever you podcast by searching College Sports Now.
As dominant a run as this league has ever seen, and they punctuated with a 23rd ACC title.
Man, I love this group. We got a lot more we want to accomplish.
Got it to go. Got it blocked.
We're learning day by day, even months into the season. We're still learning about ourselves.
We know this thing is fragile, and we're going to have to move on quickly.
Off the window. Counted it a foul. Got it blocked. Stone cold.
Stay the course, stay poised, and stay together.
My goodness. Come on, taking over. Proctor at 3.
I think just the amount of grit we showed, the togetherness we showed, I mean, we just shown the world how good we really are.
It's awesome, but we're expecting another one here.
Less than 48 hours after rolling past Mount St. Mary's on Friday, the Blue Devils are back to work this afternoon in Raleigh. In many ways, the opening weekend of the tournament has been defined by the top teams flexing all over the country. Over the course of the 32 games that make up the first round, the higher seed won 25 times, with 18 of those games being decided by double digits. Duke's 44-point demolition of the Mount was the largest margin of any game in the tournament so far, as Cooper Flagg returned in style with 14 points, 7 rebounds, 4 assists, and 2 blocks, still leading the Blue Devils for the season in scoring, rebounding, assist steals, and block shots as well. A feat he nearly pulled off last year at Montverde Academy, if not for Robert Wright III. The talented point guard led the Eagles in assists last year with more than 5 per game, slightly ahead of Cooper, and now he runs the point at Baylor, where he already has 145 assists in his rookie campaign. And familiar faces abound for the Blue Devils today. Inside, they'll see the longtime Miami big man, Norchad Omier, with now 90 career double-doubles, 22 alone this season in Waco. And, of course, there is also the matter of the man wearing number 3. It will undoubtedly be strange to see Jeremy Roach today in green and gold, a sign of the times and perhaps the stakes, as the Blue Devils look to punch their ticket to the Sweet 16 for the 30th time in school history. It's Duke and Baylor, and off we go from Raleigh.
On the Blue Devils Sports Network from Learfield, you're listening to Duke basketball in the NCAA tournament from the Lenovo Center in Raleigh. Blue Devil basketball is brought to you by Coca-Cola. They say Coke Zero is irresistibly tasty. Does that make it the best Coke ever? Find out for yourself. Reed's Jewelers, your home for fine Swiss timepieces, beautiful diamonds, and the world's most luxurious jewelry brands. Reed's Jewelers, trusted with life's moments. By the Hilton Garden Inn, your home base near Duke University. Duke Health. Duke Health doctors are the official team doctors for Duke Athletics. Learn more at dukehealth.org. And by the Washington Duke Inn, honoring tradition over trend for over 30 years. Still ahead, keys to victory, starting lineups, and the opening tip. This is Duke basketball from Learfield.
He'll fire, and it's good.
This is Duke head men's basketball coach John Shire. When it comes to keeping our team healthy, we turn to the team at Duke Sports Medicine. We offer full-service sports medicine care at locations throughout the Triangle, where you can see the same experts used by Duke Athletics. Make an appointment or learn more at dukehealth.org/sportsmedicine. Go Duke.
The crowd loves that.
Hey Duke fans, we want you to choose different and choose fun with Hi-Chew, the immensely fruity, intensely chewy candy that leaves your mouth watering with over 30 true-to-life flavors. Hi-Chew is available in sticks, peg bags, stand-up pouches, and unwrapped bites for when you're on the go. Head to your local grocery or convenience store to grab a bag, or search hichew.com to find Hi-Chew candy near you. That's hi-chew.com.
Blue Devils. Bears.
Got him! To throw it down off the inbound.
We'll return to Raleigh after this local timeout.
Let me grab my car keys and we'll roll.
We still going to that new bar downtown?
Yeah, it's supposed to be fun. Lexi, give me driving directions from home to downtown bar district.
Autocorrect. Suggest Uber. Pick up. Home. Drop off downtown bar district.
No, I'm driving.
Suggest the Metro bus. Departing in 12 minutes.
Point taken, Lexi. We'll grab a ride.
If you drink, don't drive. Decide to ride. Brought to you in partnership by Anheuser-Busch, Mothers Against Drunk Driving, and Uber.
Think about the last time you moved. Remember how you said you'd never do it alone again? We know moving is tough, but at Two Men and a Truck, we make it easy. No matter the move, big or small, we'll make it a smooth one. We're the movers who care and will prove it with our 96% referral rate and courteous background check movers. We're local and affordable, and we can help at a price that won't make you wish you'd done it on your own. When you're ready, give us a call or find us online for a free estimate at twomenandatruck.com.
Inching you closer to tip-off, it's time to go inside the Duke locker room with head coach John Shire, presented by Duke Health. Duke Health doctors are the official team doctors for Duke Athletics. Learn more at dukehealth.org. Now, once again, here's the voice of the Blue Devils, David Shoemate.
Duke and Baylor here this afternoon, and Coach, before we get to this game, a thought on the last game. 21 assists and just 2 turnovers. I know you can't expect that every time out, but pretty efficient in your guys' opener in the tournament.
Well, I just love the way we shared the ball, and obviously you have to really value it in the tournament. Every possession is precious, and our guys did a great job of just being strong with the ball.
Obviously, to get 21 assists, the ball has to go into the basket. 6 threes in each of the last 2 games for Tyrese Proctor, shooting it so well. What have you seen from him?
Just being ready to shoot, just that. And, Tyrese, that's something I think it's always been such a weapon for him, but he also is a complete player. He can do other things, but when he focuses on being shot ready and then everything else that he does, the defense, the playmaking, the rebounding, all comes with it. But I love him being shot ready. It opens it up for his teammates, and obviously he's a heck of a shooter too.
Talk about Baylor a little bit. Much has been made of their size or their lack thereof coming into this matchup, but they're 35th in the country in offensive rebounding. How do they go about doing it?
Yeah, you know what? You mentioned that, Shoemate. I mean, they're 35th in the country since they've had injuries where they've ended up going smaller since that time, middle of February. They've out-rebounded their opponents. And you're talking about playing Houston twice, Arizona, Texas Tech, Big 12 opponents. And it starts with Omier. I mean, Omir's on the boards every time. But then their guards go. Edgecombe averages over 2 a game. Celestine, Love, those guys crash the boards regardless of their height. They're strong and they're athletic, and so you have to put a body on them.
You mentioned Omier, the 22 double-doubles certainly stand out. You guys are familiar with him from his time at Miami. How similar is he to the player that you guys saw when he was at Miami?
Yeah, well, I thought when he transferred we were going to get away from him. You're not expecting to play him again. And, he's very similar in terms of his activity on the boards and his finishing around the basket. But the thing that he's done, he's added putting the ball on the floor, from the perimeter. He'll shoot an occasional 3. And, look, end of the day, they ask him to do a lot of the same things he did at Miami. He carries the load for him, and that's obviously it's going to be a key matchup today.
Their backcourt has been awfully good with Edgecombe and Wright. What are you seeing from those 2 youngsters?
Well, they're fearless. Those 2 guys as freshmen, they can really get downhill. They can really get in the paint. And I think the biggest thing I can say is they're not afraid. And so, they're going to look to score. They can create for others. Edgecombe has actually led them in assists since the middle of February. Wright has been a really good scorer, obviously what he did last game. But those guys are downhill guys that can make you pay in the paint, and very capable from beyond the 3 as well.
Finally, Coach, I'll let you go on this. Everyone knows what's at stake today, a trip to the Sweet 16. How do you tell the guys how to handle the pressure that comes with that?
Well, you know what? For me, it's about doing the simple things really well and about not changing what you've done to get yourself to this point. And so I want our guys, first of all, to be aggressive. I want our guys to be the hunters, not the hunted, but then play Duke defense, be really connected and share the ball, and then finish possessions with rebounds, and the rest will take care of itself.
Coach, we appreciate the time. Good luck today.
Thanks, Shoemate.
Down many ways, streets, and lanes all across America, you'll find Valero at your go-to gas station, volunteering with local charities, fueling communities 365 days a year, and generally being a good neighbor. So whether you're in Texas, Louisiana, or Tennessee, or right here in Durham, you can always depend on us getting you where you need to be, in life or on the road, right now.
Which of us, detective, do you suspect is the millionaire?
The evidence is everywhere. Your diamond necklace, Monty's new yacht, and the butler's new convertible. Admit it, you're all Maximilian scratch-off winners.
Of course we are. With 25 prizes of $1 million, you could be too.
New Maximilian from the North Carolina Education Lottery. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning are 1 in 2.95. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
You're listening to Duke Basketball on the Blue Devil Sports Network from Learfield.
Whether you're in the market for a new boat or just need service or accessories for an existing boat, turn to Overbee Marine. Now with 2 locations in Kittrell and Lake Gaston, Overbee Marine offers the highest quality of marine products and services, including the latest from Sea Ray, Centurion, Avalon, Bennington, as well as Cobalt boats. Overbee Marine also offers the largest selection of parts in the region, along with full-service facilities at their 2 locations. Stop by or give them a call at 252-586-3593 or online at overbeemarine.com. Overbee Marine. Don't let adventure pass you by.
Enjoying the game but not the drink being spilled down your back or the foam finger poking you in the face? Well, head to the concession stand, grab a Lindy's Italian Ice, and take a 6-ounce vacation. A 6-ounce cup of lemon Italian Ice will make you feel like you're swaying in a hammock, and the only thing in your face is a cool, salty breeze. And that ought to have you refreshed. Now get your head back in the game and start belting out blue and white with the youthful exuberance of the freshman behind you. Yes, the same one that keeps spilling his drink down your back. Lindy's Italian Ice. Have an ice day.
Back here in Raleigh as we close in on the tip-off this afternoon between Duke and Baylor, about 10 minutes or so away. David Shoemate alongside John Roth. John Rose, our producer and engineer. Back inside our network studios is Kyle Schasberger. And John Roth, the tournament in some respects is played in segments, right? You have the opening weekend, the second round, and then a few days off before the Sweet 16 begins. Already 9 of the 16 chairs have been claimed in the Sweet 16. 7 to go. The Blue Devils will have a standalone game against Baylor on deck. Obviously, they know how to get to the Sweet 16, but what's going to be most important as they take on Baylor here today?
Yeah, I think staying true to themselves and the character and the style of play that they've utilized all year and not having to adjust too much based on the opponent. And I think, that's a balance that runs through Cooper Flagg, and so much of what Duke does basically stems from his vision of what he sees on the floor each time down. So I think that's going to be important. But then the main thing that they've done all year is play good defense almost every possession, regardless of what the other team has in mind. So I think, bringing that defensive identity and being quick to hit the floor for a loose ball, winning the 50-50 balls, and battling on the boards, kind of the rebounding and defense are kind of the keys, and I think they're going to want to continue that today.
One of the things everyone's been talking about coming into this one is the familiarity on both sides. The Blue Devils, look, they recruited VJ Edgecombe. He opted to go to Baylor. Robert Wright and Cooper Flagg obviously played together when they were in high school at Montverde Academy a year ago. Jeremy Roach and Tyrese Proctor spent 2 years together in the backcourt at Duke. So you look across and you're going to see some familiar faces. And John Roth, those are great things to fill the void in the 48 hours between games. But imagine once the ball gets tipped, nobody wants to win more than either side.
Yeah, that's what I think too. I mean, that's something that people have been talking about for, Friday night and Saturday during the day, and maybe for a few minutes this morning. But once this game gets started, I don't think that's going to be a huge factor. It's going to be more what these guys do with their teams and how their teams perform in unison with each other, the way they've done things well all year long. It's going to make the difference.
The Blue Devils have been a really good rebounding team all year long. You look at the rebounding margin, +8 per game on the boards, maybe not surprising for the tallest team in the country. That is 10th nationally in terms of rebound margin, and you heard John Shire talking about it a moment ago. It does feel like rebounding with Duke's size is going to be something they have to do today, maybe doing it themselves, but more importantly on the defensive glass, keeping Baylor out of second chance opportunities.
Yeah, absolutely. Certainly when you've got a guy like Norchad Omier on your squad as a rebounder, I mean, he had 10 rebounds himself in their opening game against Mississippi State, and they ended up with 22 second chance points based on their 16 offensive rebounds. That's a lot of second chance opportunities, a lot of second shots that they're getting based on the fact that they know how to block out and get their rebounds. And so, yeah, the Blue Devils doing it on the defensive end and keeping Omier away from some of those offensive boards will be very important.
There's only been 2 previous meetings between these two. Last year they met in the Garden. just before Christmas, December 20th. It was a 78-70 win for John Shire's group. Jared McCain went off. Jeremy Roach actually had 18 points in that game. The other meeting was back in 2010, March 28th to be specific, in the Elite Eight in Houston. Duke, of course, won 78-71. John Shire, 20 points, 5 threes, made all 5 of his free throws, and played all 40 minutes. A week later, he'd raise a trophy for a national title. That's a few weeks down the road, but to get there, you got to go through Newark before you can get to San Antonio. The Blue Devils looking to make it to the East Regional with a win over Baylor here this afternoon, and we'll tip it off when you come back to Raleigh.
Every day in the U.S., more than 9 people are killed and 1,000 injured in crashes involving a distracted driver. You can't control other motorists, but you can control how you operate your vehicle. Avoid distractions while driving, like texting or checking social media. Brought to you by Trusted Choice Independent Insurance Agents of North Carolina. Learn more at trustedchoice.com/Go Duke.
For more information, find your local independent insurance agent at insure-agent.com.
This season, Duke basketball has teamed up with Duke Children's for the Charity Stripe 1000 Challenge. Thanks to 605 Hoops Heroes, over $19,000 has already been raised for the kids at Duke Children's. Fans, it's not too late to join our team and show your support. Give your $25 by texting Hoops Hero to 919-372-4159. That's 919-372-4159 and become a Duke Children's Hoops Hero today.
Duke, Baylor. We'll have more from the Lenovo Center after this local timeout.
Hey Duke fans, want to enhance your game day experience? Poetry Finance, official digital banking partner of Duke Athletics, is here to help. With Poetry, managing your finances is a breeze. Just download the Poetry app to discover how Poetry Finance can help you. Poetry Finance. Write your own future. Start now. Financial tools for everyone. Let us help you get started at poetryfinance.com. That's poetryfinance.com.
Think about the last time you moved. Remember how you said you'd never do it alone again? We know moving is tough, but at 2 Men and a Truck, we make it easy. No matter the move, big or small, we'll make it a smooth one. We're the movers who care and will prove it with our 96% referral rate and courteous background check movers. We're local and affordable, and we can help at a price that won't make you wish you'd done it on your own. When you're ready, give us a call or find us online for a free estimate at 2menandatruck.com.
Duke and Baylor coming up from Raleigh, round 2, the NCAA tournament. Cal Shasberger inside Studio 21. Starting lineups, opening tip just moments away. Let's pause 10 seconds to allow stations to identify themselves. This is Blue Devil basketball from Learfield. It's the Blue Devils and the Bears from the Lenovo Center with John Roth and engineer John Rose. Here's the voice of the Blue Devils, David Shoemate.
All right, Kyle, let's dive right in with our starting lineups. We'll begin with the Baylor Bears. They are the 9 seed in the East Region, 20-14 now after the win over Mississippi State on Friday afternoon. It's their 7th straight 20-win season and their 13th in their last 14 years. They finished Big 12 play at 510-10, and they'll use the same starting 5 here this afternoon. At the point will be number 1, Robert Wright III. He's a freshman guard, 6'1", 183 out of Wilmington, Delaware. A selection to the Big 12 all-freshman team. He had 19 against the Bulldogs. Number 7 is VJ Edgecombe, freshman guard, 6'5", 180 out of Bimini, Bahamas. 15 points, 5.6 rebounds per game, 67 steals on the year. That's a Baylor freshman record. Number 13 is Langston Love, redshirt junior guard, 6'5", 210 out of Universal City, Texas. 15 points against Mississippi State, 9th time this year he's been in double figures. Number 32 is Jalen Celestine, a graduate student of guard, 6'7", 215 out of Ajax, Ontario, Canada. A transfer from Cal, he had 6 and 8 against Mississippi State, and rounding out the starting 5 is number 15, Norchad Omir, the 5th-year player forward, 6'7", 244 out of Bluefields, Nicaragua. The transfer from Miami had 12 and 10 against Mississippi State. His 10th consecutive double-double. He's got 22 on the year. That's tied for 3rd in the country for head coach Scott Drew in his 22nd season. In Waco, the assistants, Jared Nunes, Tweety Carter, Bill Armstrong, Steve Henson, and Melvin Hunt. Meanwhile, for the Blue Devils, the number 1 seed in the East region picked up their 32nd win over Mount St. Mary's on Friday, 93-49. 7 seasons now with 32 or more wins since 2000, and the same starting 5 here this afternoon.
Tyrese Parker, guard, junior, Sydney, Australia.
Con Knipple, wing, freshman, Milwaukee, Wisconsin.
Sion James, guard, graduate student from Sugar Hill, Georgia.
Cooper Flagg, small forward, freshman, Newport, Maine.
Kaman Madid Malwaj, I'm a center, freshman, and I'm from South Sudan, Rumbek.
And they'll roll out for head coach John Shire in his 3rd season at the helm already. 86 wins against just 21 losses. The associate head coach is Chris Carroll. The assistants Emmanuel Dildy and Will Avery, and the director of player development is Justin Robinson. We will watch the Blue Devils go left to right as we see things here in the opening half from the floor at the Lenovo Center. Across from the team benches, Baylor, as the lower seed, will be the visitors. They'll wear green jerseys and shorts, kind of an army green color to be exact, with gold numerals and lettering and a Baylor logo at the bottom of the shorts. Meanwhile, for the Blue Devils, in the familiar home whites with Duke blue numerals and lettering, a Duke blue stripe down the side, and an Iron Duke D logo in white at the bottom of the shorts. They can fit 19,500 in here at the Lenovo Center. Had nearly that many on Friday afternoon for the Blue Devils' first game. And it's packed once again as the Blue Devils starters are being introduced. And also in the house, Manny Diaz, the Blue Devils head football coach, is across the way. Nina King has taken her position, the vice president and director of athletics, behind the Blue Devils bench after being over at Cameron earlier today, watching Carol Lawson's group get to the Sweet 16 for the 2nd consecutive season. And now it's John Shire's turn as the Blue Devils look to get back to the Sweet 16 this year. If they can do so, it'd be the 30th time in program history. It is a little bit different, John Roth, I think, when you get into the second round of the tournament. The first round is almost about survival, right? Getting away from any kind of upsets. There's always nervous energy in the building. You kind of see crazy stuff. But with the way the tournament went, basically in every region, all 4 of the top seeds advance. Now it's heavyweight battles from here to the house and business picking up in a hurry, obviously with an ACC Big 12 clash.
Absolutely. And to me, I've always thought of getting to the second weekend of the tournament as really the mark of a really good program. And so you want to be one of those 16 that's going to be playing next weekend. And to do that, this has to be one of your best games today. You've got to put everything out of your mind. Everything has to be focused on what you have to do to beat Baylor today, or if you're Baylor, what you have to do to beat Duke today. That's the only thing you can be thinking about so you can advance to really the premier weekend in the sport.
A little bit of housekeeping in case there was any doubt. Malik Brown will not play today, still dealing with that left shoulder injury. He is on the bench. No sling on his arm. That went away midway through the ACC tournament. Out there in sweats, but he will not be available as the Blue Devils hit the floor for the 39th time in the second round. 28-10 is their record. They've won nearly 74% of their games. Of course, they've had a lot of success as the 1 seed of the tournament, 55-10 all time. 84.6% is their winning percentage. And they look to get to the Sweet 16 with a win here this afternoon against the Bears. Kip Kissinger is going to lead our officiating crew, as assigned by the NCAA. He'll be assisted today by Brian O'Connell and Clarence Armstrong. One final huddle at the top of the key to the left side of the floor for the Blue Devils. And it'll be Malowach to jump it off. Opposite Norchad Omer. Not to belabor the point, but the height difference is staggering right out of the chute as they go out onto the floor. Malowach at 7'2", Omer at 6'7". It'll be interesting to see who draws Cooper Flagg here in the early going. I would assume Celestine at 6'7", but we'll see. Everybody set. Kip Kissinger, our lead official, with the basketball in hand, making his way into the center circle, getting everybody organized around the jump circle. Always a little business to tend to, and now we're set to go. Again, it'll be Kaman Malowach and Norchad Omer to jump it off. Great to have you with us, so away we go, and Baylor wins the opening tap. And they'll bring it across right to left. Celestine, underhand handoff for Love. Around the perimeter it goes, and now an early touch for VJ Edgecombe. Further to the right, curling at the elbow. Back up top for Edgecombe. Back pedals with 15 to shoot. Back for right again. James there defensively. Little's man-to-man as you would expect. Right into the paint, nearly walked. Spinning, kicks to the left. Edgecombe with 7 to shoot. Drives closer, spins on Knipple. Can't shoot. To the corner, a 3-ball for Celestine is no good. Offensive rebound, Omer. That's what he does. Back outside for an Edgecombe 3 on the left. Too strong, and this time James claims the miss. So Little's across midcourt for the first time. James on the right. Looking inside. He'll drive. Got it on Edgecombe. Scooped it off the window. No. And the rebound for Baylor. No score. 45 seconds in. Each team has had it once. Wright has it for the Bears. Wants to drive Proctor into the paint. Waits. Kicks to the left. Love into the corner. Edgecombe. A ball fake with Malawach defending. Now back up top for Wright. Proctor staring him down. A bounce pass for O'Meara. Cooper there defensively. Trying to drive him into the paint. Steps through. Fades away. And can't hit. The rebound for Knipple. They want to push it. A hit ahead for Cooper. 2-on-1 with Proctor. To the right of three. Give it to him. He picks up where he left off on Friday. And the Blue Devils are on the board first. They nearly have theft in backcourt. Instead, it's going to be a reach-in foul on Cooper Flag. 90-some feet from the basket.
Yeah, Tyrese Proctor, 6 threes in each of his last 2 contests and nails the first one here today.
Yeah, you don't like to see Cooper picking up fouls in backcourt. And the head coach of the Blue Devils getting the defense organized. And it's across midcourt comes Wright. Waiting. Bounces one to the left, into the arms of Love. James has him on a switch. Hard screen from O'Meara. Curling around it is Love. Backpedaling right side of the paint. And on Malawach, underneath the rim. Steps all the way through. Kicks outside for Wright. Trying to drive Knipple to the right. Love can't shoot over James. Back to the left and right. 7 on the timer. Behind the back with a dribble. Into the paint. Tough 2. Banked it. No. And the rebound fought for. Still loose. They fight for it. O'Meara has it. Up top, Celestine. A baseline drive to the paint. Cut off. Peels out. Waits. Having a hard time. Fed it inside for O'Meara. Off the window and down. Norchad O'Meara active early, and we're tied at 2 minutes in. Or excuse me, the Blue Devils with a 3-2 lead 2 minutes in.
Already 2 offensive rebounds for Norchad, and he's cashed in one of them.
Knipple at the top of the key. Sends it to the left. Proctor there. Love there defensively. Back up top for Cooper. Waiting. Puts it on the deck with O'Meara in front of him. 10 to shoot. Drives O'Meara. Got by him. Takes the contact, and he'll shoot 2. And Norchad O'Meara has picked up his first foul. And as the Blue Devils head to the line, we'll remind you that Food Line is the proud sponsor of the Score to Give More program. For every free throw the Blue Devils make in today's game, Food Line Feeds will donate 100 meals to a local area food bank. And it'll be Cooper at the free throw line where he hits him at an 83% clip. And the first one is good. He had 14 in his return on Friday afternoon. 7 rebounds, 4 assists, and 2 blocks. We've come accustomed to that stat sheet.
Stuffs basically almost every category in the stat sheet, almost every game.
And the second free throw is no good, so O'Meara has the rebound. 4-2. Duke in front, 2.5 minutes in. Edgecombe sends it up top for Wright. Waiting. Defended by Sion James. And now Edgecombe has it. Bounces one into the pocket for O'Meara, deflected by James. It came out of bounds. They say last touch by the Blue Devils. James took a pretty good whack to the head after he deflected it, and with 12 to shoot, Baylor will inbound sideline left just in front of us.
Sion still checking his braids over there after that shot.
Love to inbound, does for Wright out near the center circle. James there defensively. Wright drifts to the right, into the corner it goes. Lost by Baylor out to midcourt, but it came back to Wright. Inside it goes with 2 to shoot. O'Meara able to score inside on Malawach. So he's got all 4 of the points for Baylor, and we're tied at 4 as we approach 17 minutes to play in our first half. Sion James at the top of the key. Waits, looks to the left, finds Tyrese Proctor. Proctor looking for a screen, turns it down, whips it to the right. Knipple's wide open, and he hits a 3. Kahn 1 of 4 from 3 on Friday, hits his first today, and the Blue Devils lead by 3, 7-4.
Yeah, he just had 6 points in that game, but he did what he needed to do throughout the game. Wasn't hunting stats, hunting victories.
The Blue Devils hit their first 2 from outside. If this Baylor defense does have a weakness, they're 273rd in the country, giving up the 3, nearly 35% per game. Love on the drive, blocked by Malawach as he got into the paint. O'Meara has a loose basketball, then thrown away by Wright into backcourt. It'll be Duke basketball.
But you could see, even on that particular play, the Blue Devils had 3 guys going after that rebound, and still Norchad O'Meara was able to get in there and get a hand on it, and the Blue Devils get it back. But what a great rebounder he is on that end.
Knipp will be the inbounder, sideline right. Inbounding in front court. Lobs it for Sion James at the top of the key. James waiting, looking to the right, fed Knippel there. Drifts to the baseline, waits back up top, a crossover, got to step on O'Meara to the baseline, spins, steps through, whistle, they're going to call him for a travel. John Shire does not agree, and the Blue Devils turn it over for the first time today.
I think he used his spin move and then spun one more time after he'd stopped dribbling. Might have been deceptive looking, but that's what the call was. And Jeremy Roach now.
Into the game for the first time today. As Edgecombe came out. Celestine along the left baseline. Inside it goes for O'Meara. Baylor's about 7 deep, and that's it. As O'Meara backing down Malawach at the left block, trying to step through underneath the rim, forced it up and got it to go. O'Meara's got all 6 of the points for Baylor. Cooper got hit in the face, and we've got a timeout. I wonder if they go to the monitor. Look at that. 15:48 to go until the break. It's Duke 7 and Baylor 6.
Oh, what a great camping trip for the Williams family. It was epic, Zach. And this week's MVP was their 2024 Ford Bronco SUV, Matt. Absolutely. It hauled everything and everyone to this great spot by the lake. And get them back in time for the big game. Yeah, let's go! Let's go. With the Ford Bronco or Bronco Sport SUV on your team, it's game on. For the latest offers, go to buyfordnow.com or see your Carolina Ford dealer today.
He'll fire, and it's good!
This is Duke head men's basketball coach John Shire. When it comes to keeping our team healthy, we turn to the team at Duke Sports Medicine. We offer full-service sports medicine care at locations throughout the Triangle, where you can see the same experts used by Duke Athletics. Make an appointment or learn more at dukehealth.org/sportsmedicine. Go Duke!
The crowd loves that. Here in Raleigh, the Blue Devils by 1, 7-6 with 15:48 to play in our first half. And today's game between Duke and Baylor is presented by Duke Stores. Visit shop.duke.edu, where real Duke fans shop. As the Blue Devils are into the second round, trying to get to the Sweet 16 for the 30th time. And this broadcast of the NCAA Division I Men's Basketball Championship is authorized under broadcast rights granted by the NCAA through Westwood One. It is intended solely for the private, non-commercial use of our audience. Any reproduction, retransmission, or other use of this broadcast without the express written consent of the NCAA and Westwood One is strictly prohibited. David Schumate alongside John Roth. John Rose, our producer and engineer. Back inside our network studios is Kyle Schassberger. I told you the Blue Devils won their first game against Mount St. Mary's 93-49. That 44-point margin, they're 7th in the event by 40 or more. The most by any school in the history event. I don't think we're going to see that here today, as Baylor has made their mark playing a bunch of close games. If you look at their 14 losses, John Roth, 8 of them have been by single digits, including each of their last 5 losses. They've been in some battles throughout the year. Obviously, 14 losses is a lot, but the record's somewhat deceiving.
Yeah, and the other aspect of that 14 losses, 11 of them were against teams that ended up making this NCAA tournament. So certainly the schedule they played had something to do with that, as they've been tested all year long, non-conference and conference play. And, a lot of losses, but strong team that is not going to be intimidated by a number 1 seed on the other end.
I told you Cooper got hit in the face going to the break. They didn't go to the monitor, but they are, it looks to be all right over there. And he's going to come back out onto the floor. Looks like maybe his right eye or nearby is where he got hit. As the Blues are going to go to the bench for the first time. And first off the bench today is the freshman out of Manassas, Virginia. That's Patrick Ungba II. As Kamon Malawach will get a breather. Cooper's right eye is almost closed, John Roth. He got whacked.
Yeah, he's been squinting with that eye the whole time he's walked back out to his spot to inbound the basketball.
Swelling up pretty good. Got to keep an eye on that. He's in possession along the left sideline, bodied up by Jeremy Roach. And now here's Sion James. Waiting, sends it to the left. There's Knipple. Kahn off of a screen set by Gungba. Waits back up top. Cooper now further to the right, and Proctor another 3. This one short, and the rebound chased down by Edgecombe. So here comes Baylor across midcourt, trailing by 1. 15:24 to play in the half. O'Meara at the top of the key. Dribbles to the right. Crossing over, can't get by Gungba. Trying to back him down, picked up his dribble, now he's in trouble. Lobs it back near midcourt. Jeremy Roach has it. 12 on the topper. Defended by Con Knipple. Takes a screen from O'Meara, a loose one at that. Launches on the left and hits a 3. So Jeremy Roach, an immediate impact off the bench. And Baylor has the lead for the first time today, 9-7, 5 minutes in.
Jeremy, the first guy other than O'Meara to score for Baylor today.
He's 33.6% from 3 on the year. That was his 40th of the season. Cooper at the top of the key. Drives, spins at the free throw line, backs out, sizing it up. Going to work on Celestine, kicks to the left. Knipple will take a three. Rattled out, and the rebound for Jeremy Roach. Across midcourt, Baylor by 2, 14:38 to play in the half. Roach on the drive, backpedals, dancing with James. Got to the baseline, high off the window, no. Rebound tapped out, came by Cooper Flagg. Across midcourt, trailing by a bucket. Cooper into the paint, going to work on Nunn. He'll shoot 2 and goes crashing to the deck. And looks to be okay as Jaden Nunn picks up his first foul. As we see Caleb Foster come to check in after the first free throw, does give us a chance to tell you the Blue Devil basketball is brought to you in part by Coca-Cola. Crisp, refreshing, and irresistibly tasty. Is Coke Zero Sugar the best Coke ever? Try and decide. Cooper 1 out of 2 on his first trip to the line. And the first one here is good.
Has not actually officially taken a shot from the field. His 2 shot attempts were both fouls, so still 0 for 0 in the stat sheet.
And you've got the scars of somebody that looks like they've taken a shot.
He took a couple shots. Yeah.
As we see Caleb come in for the first time, the sophomore out of Harrisburg, North Carolina, had 12 points, his 8th time in double figures against Mount St. Mary's. So it's Foster, Proctor, Knipple, Flagg, and Gungba. Second free throw. Got them both.
Caleb made sure to say hi to Jeremy when he walked in next to him. He actually did.
Tied at 9, 14:23 to play here in the first half. Edgecombe walks it across. Calls out the offensive set. Sends it for Nunn, and now back to Edgecombe. Looking to lob it. As Edgecombe looks to the right. Dribbles between the legs. Dubravcic is out there. Hasn't played a ton, but maybe Baylor looking for size. He's in the post with Gungba right now. Nunn with 3 to shoot. With 2, Nunn with 1. Going to have to fire. Scoops at the buzzer. Missed it. The rebound. Proctor's got it. A chance to run 3 on 2. Ahead for Foster. Back for Tyrese. Now they'll wait for help and run some offense. Tied at 9, 6 minutes in. Proctor for Flagg at the top of the key. Further to the right, there's Knipple. Kahn, 1 dribble, bounces it to the baseline. Cooper's got it now. Edgecombe there defensively. Going to work on him. Into the paint. Backs him down. Knocked loose. Cooper got it back. Put it up. Counted in a foul. My goodness. What a strong move inside. And Edgecombe picks up his first.
And Cooper with a quick release on that shot right as he was being hit. Still able to release and follow through. Get it to go.
And he'll head back to the line trying to complete the 3-point play and build the lead to 3. As we see Marino Dubravcic check out, the freshman out of Croatia, and Omir will come back in. And we'll see Isaiah Evans come in as well. He's going to have to wait for after the free throw. As Cooper sends it on the way, and got that one as well. So we see the freshman out of Fayetteville for the first time today. 3 or more threes 11 times this year for Isaiah Evans. As Con Knipple will get a breather. So the head coach of the Blue Devils using his bench early and often here. We mentioned how Baylor doesn't have much depth. Maybe the Blue Devils trying to exploit theirs this afternoon in Raleigh. 12-9, the Duke advantage with 13:27 to play in the half. Roach on the left, probing. Foster there defensively. Backs out, sends it over to the right in Langston Love. Love with Cooper in the defensive stance. Gets a screen from Omir. Can't take the 3. Over to the right in Edgecombe. Dancing with Evans. Into the paint he goes. Tough scoop. And got the roll. Edgecombe with a tough finish inside his first bucket. Makes it 12-11. 7 minutes gone by in the first half. Cooper across midcourt. Waiting. Sends it up top for Gungba. Now a bounce pass to the right finds Caleb Foster. Caleb up top. Proctor's open from 3. Good again. His second of the day. And the Blue Devil lead grows to 4.
Just shooting so confidently here in this tournament.
15-11. 12:40 to play in the half. Right on the right. Underhand scoop into the arms of Love. Now waiting. A handoff for Roach. Curling in front of the Blue Devil bench on the right now. Leaves it for Edgecombe. They run the weave up top. 12 to shoot. Another handoff for right. Just running side to side at the moment. 8 on the timer. Here's a backdoor lob for Edgecombe and a punch. Got loose along the baseline, and he's got 4.
Not a bad play for one of your starting guards.
15-13. The Blue Devil lead with 12-12 to play in the half. Foster will walk it across. Waiting. Drift to the right. Looking up top for Proctor. He's got it now. Off of a screen set by Patrick Gungba. Sends it further to the right, and Cooper Flagg now. 10 to shoot. Cooper, a couple hesitation dribbles. Jumps up over Roach. Can't hit a 3. Went to the deck, no whistle. Now 2 guys fall down behind the play. It's Gungba and Omir. And here comes Baylor across midcourt. It's Love to the left. Edgecombe thought about a 3 over Foster. And now back up top it comes for Omir. One dribble and a handoff for Wright. Probing into the paint, knocked loose by Gungba and stolen. Foster out of there with it, raked at by Roach, and finally the whistle goes as Jeremy picks up his first. Timeout on the floor. 11:35 to go until the break. Duke leads at 15-13.
Which of us, detective, do you suspect is the millionaire?
The evidence is everywhere. Your diamond necklace, Monty's new yacht, and the butler's new convertible. Admit it, you're all Maximilian scratch-off winners.
Of course we are. With 25 prizes of $1 million, you could be too.
New Maximilian from the North Carolina Education Lottery. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning are 1 in 2.95. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
Blue Devils. Bears. You're listening to Duke basketball in the NCAA tournament. We'll return to Raleigh in 1 minute.
It's bow time. Sometimes the craving for Bojangles Supremes is so strong you just gotta have them. Even when your gas tank is on empty and Bojangles is still 10 miles down the highway. Nothing beats the flavor of Bojangles juicy golden Supremes, especially when they're part of a perfect combo with 4 boldly seasoned chicken Supremes, a made-from-scratch biscuit, fixin', and some legendary iced tea. The only thing that can satisfy your hunger is that delicious southern flavor. So when the craving is supreme, put the pedal to the metal. It's bow time.
This is Coke Zero Sugar. Could I be the best Coke ever? Try and taste with your ears. Hear those bubbles? Imagine them tingling on your tongue. Fizzy deliciousness. Listen to that cascading liquid. A mouth-watering waterfall. Irresistibly tasty. Zero sugar. Crisp, refreshing, and ice cold. Is Coke Zero Sugar the best Coke ever? Try and decide.
Back here in Raleigh, 11:35 to go in our opening half. The Blue Devils lead by 2, 15-13. And don't forget that the FanDuel Sports Network is your new home for your home teams. Watch all the big hits, big shots, big goals, all in one place for coverage of Blue Devils athletics, the Carolina Hurricanes, and the Charlotte Hornets. Visit FanDuelSportsNetwork.com today and watch all season long. David Shoemate alongside John Roth. John Rose, our producer and engineer. Back inside our network studios is Kyle Schasberger. The Blue Devils in possession. Their leading scorer is Tyrese Proctor alongside Cooper Flagg. Tyrese with a couple of threes. He's made 2 of his first 3. He's now 14 of 25 from 3 over his last 2+ games. Cooper Flagg has done a lot of his work at the free throw line, and he's got the battle scars to prove it. 4 or 5 at the line with 6 points so far. But the thing you wondered about in this game was the rebounding. And the Blue Devils right now trailing on the glass 8-4. And John Roth, of the 8 rebounds for Baylor, 3 have come on the offensive glass. And that's been their recipe this season. We mentioned earlier, nearly 13 offensive rebounds a game. That ranks in the top 35 in the country.
Yeah, and it leads to them getting a lot of their points inside around the basket. And so far in this contest, out of their 13 points, okay, they had a 3 from Jeremy Roach. All the other 10 points of that total have been in the paint around the basket. So certainly the Blue Devils cognizant of their defense in the paint, keeping them out of the lane and seeing how much better they can defend North Chad O'Meara when this game resumes. O'Meara with 6 already for the Baylor team, with 3 for 4 shooting to get that 6.
Out of the timeout, it'll be the freshman out of Milwaukee, Con Knipple, Cooper Flagg, Patrick Ungba, Isaiah Evans, and Caleb Foster. And it'll be Cooper to inbound along the left sideline with this 2-point advantage. Waiting. Lobs it into the corner for Gongba. Patrick up top, Knipple. A ball fake and a drive, kicks to the right. Evans will take it. Rimmed off, and the rebound inside for Wright and Baylor. So Isaiah has missed his first 6 from outside in the NCAA tournament. Off to the left, Love for the Bears. Wants to drive Cooper. Backpedal, sends it further to the right and right. Knipple there defensively. Trying to drive him to the baseline. Tough floater off the window and in. Wright has his first field goal, and it ties the game at 15, 9 minutes in. Foster inside Gungba. Low catch, able to go up, though, and score off the right. Nice quick feed from Caleb, and Gungba has his first field goal, and Duke is back in front, 17-15.
Wasn't the best pass, but he did find him open, and Gungba has great hands and great footwork, able to turn it into a basket.
I wonder if he was so open, he opted for speed instead of accuracy. Just get it in there, let the big guy go to work. Wright has it on the left side of the floor. Crossing over, trying to drive. Gungba got to the baseline, spins, trying to step through, cannot. Up top, Love will take a three and hit it for the Bears. They are back in front as Langston Love has his 26th three of the season. 18-17, the Baylor advantage. 10.5 minutes to play until the break. Caleb Foster on the left. Waiting. Still waiting. Lobs it to the left sideline for Cooper Flagg. Now back up top for Caleb. A jab step on Roach to the left. Cooper's got it now. 10 to shoot. Thinking about a three. Instead he'll drive, go airborne, feed it to Gungba, who got pushed from behind, and he'll shoot two as Langston Love picks up a foul. Nearly able to dunk it. The push was from behind. You wonder if they might say that's flagrant because there's no play on the ball.
And he also lost his shoe in the process. Trying to get that back on here as we get back to action.
I mean, it's just a push in the back. And you wonder if they might look at this because there was no play on the basketball, and now Kip Kissinger, our lead official, is waiting, I think, for the replay official, the fourth official, the standby official, to take a peek at this.
I mean, isn't that push in the back why that dunk didn't go?
Patrick Gungba also is tying his shoe. That's another reason for the delay. And I think they do want to look at this. Yep, they're headed to the replay monitor with 10:14 to play in the half. Took a long time to decide to go over there. And while they're going over there, we remind you that Blue Devil Basketball is brought to you in part by Poetry Finance. Write your own future with Poetry. Poetry Finance, official online banking partner of Duke Athletics.
Previous play is under review for a potential flagrant foul.
As we suspected. Again, just no play on the ball, right? Just a push in the small of the back, or really in the derriere, for lack of better terminology, and that's how you can get a guy hurt, right, when he's airborne and you're pushing him from behind, John Roth. And again, the thing that maybe will get them on the flagrant here is just no play on the basketball.
Yeah, there certainly was no play on the basketball. He was completely behind him, couldn't have gotten to the basketball if he wanted to.
Okay, after review, the play stands, common foul, 2 shots.
And what do I know?
Well, it's worth looking at.
I just wonder if it wasn't the most vicious push. Maybe it was the lack of severity of the contact. And it will be Gungba after a long break. Head to the line to shoot two, where he's 15 of 22 this season, 68%. Of course, the Blue Devils very good hitting their free throws this year. 15th in the country, better than 78%. And they made 4 of their first 5 today. And the first one here for Pat is good. That's no small thing. I mean, you're waiting around for 2-3 minutes. Knowing you got to shoot a free throw, and you go calmly knock down the first as Mason Gillis enters for the first time, the graduate student out of Newcastle, Indiana, the grad transfer from Purdue. And also back in the ballgame comes Sion James as Isaiah Evans and Cooper Flagg will head out. Second free throw for Gungba puts Duke back in front, 19-18.
It gets 9 guys now have already played for the Blue Devils here in this first 10 minutes.
So the Bears bring it across. The Blue Devil crowd making some noise, trying to give some energy to Josh Shire's group as we hit the midway point of the half. They lead by 1. The inside Omier on Gillis, blocked by Maluach. What a recovery. And here comes Duke left to right. James to the left. Gillis looking inside, not there. Back up top for James. Let's go Duke is the chant for the faithful here at the Lenovo Center. Maluach holding up top. Sends it further to the right and Foster. 12 to shoot. Caleb a crossover. In on Omier. Back outside. Gillis a 3. No. They fight for the rebound. Omier has it. And here comes Baylor the other way. 9:38 to play in the half. A bounce pass to the right for Jeremy Roach. And now back up top for Robert Wright. In on Knipple. Off the window. Good and a foul. I think they're going to take a con with what would be his first. Indeed, that is the case. And Baylor goes back in front, 20-19, with a free throw to come.
Once again, though, Baylor doing a nice job of attacking the Blue Devils' interior defense and just driving and attacking the paint and getting rewarded.
And Robert Wright at 78.6%. A chance to add to the Baylor 1-point advantage. Both teams shooting the ball well. Blue Devils 46%, 3 of 8 from 3 and 5 of 6 at the line. Baylor 53%. They made half of their threes, 2 out of 4. And now Wright sends the free throw on the way and hits it. Edgecombe with some token pressure in backcourt as the Blue Devils break it rather easily. And here comes Caleb across midcourt, down by 2. Waiting, a driving lane on Edgecombe. Got inside, put it off the window and in. The seas parted, and Caleb Foster took advantage.
He saw the seam and went right at it.
21 apiece, 9:14 to play in the half. And now the Duke fans back on their feet. Wright, defended by Foster. Just staring at him. Baylor content to work the clock all the way down. Now Love has it. Looking to the right for Edgecombe. Catches in front of Proctor. 9 to shoot. Spinning. Nearly fell down. Had to get rid of it to right. Proctor has him on a switch. 5 on the topper. 4 and 3. Drives inside. Fades away over Maluach. Didn't get the roll. James the rebound. Whistle and a foul on who? It's on the Blue Devils on the rebounding action. And that's on Kaman. And that's his first. Tied at 21 with 8:47 to play in the half. That's the third team foul on the Blue Devils. Baylor has been whistled for 5. And Baylor making substitutions as Roach is back in. He'll relieve Robert Wright. So it's Foster, Proctor, James, Gillis, and Maluach, the 5 on the floor for head coach John Shire at the moment. And Edgecombe is the inbounder, left baseline right side of the hoop. Waiting, looking inside, got it to Omier, bobbled it, got it back. Now he's double teamed, trying to step through on Maluach. Kicks to the right, Edgecombe with 3. Rimmed off, the rebound for Gillis. And the Blue Devils trying to push the pace here, tied at 21, 8:37 to play in the half. James quickly across midcourt, left to right. Up top, Caleb. Room to shoot, instead he'll drive. Probing, backpedals out of it, fed it to Sion. James lobs to the post, Maluach being held by Edgecombe, and that's his second.
Yeah, James had a thought about throwing that ball, lobbing it down to Maluach, but he couldn't get to the rim because of that hold.
And they're going to bring Jaden Nunn into the ball game, and Edgecombe will have a seat with 8:27 to play in the half with those 2 fouls.
Key guy they don't want to have on the bench very long. 15-point scorer, an excellent playmaker and defender.
As Blue Devils inbound it for James up top. Drives to the right, got around Omier, goes up and dunks it down. James with authority, and Duke is back in front, 23-21, as we approach 8 minutes to play in the half.
And the Blue Devils finding some success attacking the Baylor paint.
A handoff for Langston Love. He comes out near midcourt to set up the offense. Calling for a screen. Omier trying to get loose on Maluach to come set it. Now he does. Love at the top of the key will take it and hit it. Langston Love with his second 3, and Baylor's back in front 24-23 with 7:50 to play in our first half. Baylor now 3 of 6 from outside. The Blue Devils 3 out of 8. A bounce pass to Maluach on the left. Further to the left, Foster couldn't control it, trying to get it back. Couldn't save it on the sideline, out of bounds. Last touch by Baylor. Going to chase us to a timeout. 7:39 to play until the break. And the Blue Devils trail at 24-23. And while we have a moment, let's send it to the studio and check in with Kyle Schaffsberger.
Thanks so much, David. Another busy day, round 2 of the NCAA tournament. We had half the Sweet 16 that was filled yesterday, and before us on that very same Lenovo Center floor in Raleigh, top seed of the West region, Florida 8-seeded UConn would meet to deliver the first of 8 more tickets that would be punched to the Sweet 16 earlier today.
Second free throw is a big one. Oh, he missed that one too. Rebound to Martin. Martin to the rim. Dunks with 2 hands, and the Gators lead by 8.
Sean Kelly from Learfield, Florida, trailed 61-58 with 4:03 to play in that contest. Would hang on for the final count of 77-75. Gators advance to the Sweet 16. UConn's 13-game NCAA tournament win streak is snapped by Florida, who picks up win number 32 on the year. Other games in the tournament coming up later tonight. 5:15 start in the Midwest region. 6-seeded Illinois, 3-seeded Kentucky from Milwaukee at 6:10. 7-2 matchup. St. Mary's and Alabama from Cleveland as part of the East region. 12-seeded Colorado State, 4-seeded Maryland will meet at 7:10 in the West from Seattle. 6-seeded Ole Miss and 3-seeded Iowa State will battle at 7:45 from Milwaukee as part of the South. And Richard Pitino and 10-seeded New Mexico. Lobos winning their first NCAA tournament game, knocking off Marquette on Friday night. First win in the tournament since 2012. They go up against Tom Izzo and 2-seeded Michigan State.
Michigan State with Coach Izzo's coaching that doesn't play hard. You know you better block out. You know you're going to get crushed on some screens. You know they're going to be fundamentally sound, traditional belief of how the Big Ten is played. Like, they do not play like that. Now, they'll grind you out if they need to, but they're trying to score early, and their guards push and their wings run and their bigs rim run. So, yeah, I mean, he gets them to fly up the court, and, it's been that way for a long time.
The lone remaining Pitino in the tournament after his father, Rick Pitino, at St. John's, the 2-seed, fell to 10-seed at Arkansas yesterday afternoon in Providence. Again, 8:40, New Mexico and Michigan State. Tom Izzo looking for his 16th Sweet 16 appearance at Michigan State. Then the nightcap, 9:40 start, 5-seeded Oregon, 4-seeded Arizona in the East region. Another second-round matchup from Seattle. Duke women's basketball did win over Oregon today, 59-53. Now a 19th Sweet 16 for the Blue Devils as they win by 6, overcoming a 5-point halftime deficit. Carol Lawson has the Blue Devils, David, in back-to-back Sweet 16s.
All right, Kyle, thank you very much. The story here, the Blue Devils trailing by 1. They'll be in possession when we get back to action. 24-23 our score with 7:39 to play here in our first half.
Let's check out some of the in-game stats right now presented by Steel. Trusted steel power in the palm of your hand. Visit your local Steel dealer or shop online at steelusa.com. For the Blue Devils, 2 leading scorers are Flagg and Proctor. Flagg, each of those guys has 6. For Proctor, it's on a pair of 3-pointers. 4 off the bench for Gongba. And the Blue Devils are shooting it at 54% from the floor and 3 out of 8 from three-point range. Leading scorers for Baylor also with 6 apiece, and that's O'Meara and Love with a pair of 3-pointers as well. And they're shooting it at an even 50%, both from 2 and 3 out of 6 as well. And they are leading the Blue Devils in rebounding right now, 11-6. 4 offensive rebounds have helped them get a 14-8 edge in points in the paint.
As you see Cooper Flagg return to the floor out of the timeout. He's out there with Sion James, Kamon Malawach, Mason Gillis, and Tyrese Proctor. Whistle off the ball and a foul coming on Baylor. Who's that on? Wait and see. It's going to send Cooper to line for a 1-and-1. 7th team foul on the Bears. I think it's on Celestine, which will be his first. Just grabbing Cooper off the ball. 7:35 to go in the half. The Blue Devils in the bonus. And the front end of the 1-and-1 is good for the freshman out of Newport, Maine. Consensus All-American, the ACC Player of the Year, the ACC Rookie of the Year, and maybe a National Player of the Year award or 2 coming as well.
Runner-up for Defensive Player of the Year.
I don't like to talk about that one. I disagree. Second free throw for Cooper. Rattles home.
Not how I voted.
And the Blue Devils seesaw back in front. He's got 8. Already 7-8 lead changes in this one. And now the Duke crowd comes to their feet. 25-24. Blue Devils by a point. 7.5 minutes to go until the break. Love on the drive. Bodied up by Cooper. Steps back, can't shoot. Bobbled it. Able to chase it down along the sideline. Jeremy's got it now. Jeremy Roach. Off of a screen set by O'Meara. Probing at the right elbow. Got to the baseline. Fades away over Proctor. Can't hit. The rebound. Fought for. Gillis has it. And here comes Sion James across midcourt leading by 1. A hesitation dribble. Backs out now. Bounces one to the left and Proctor. Off of a screen set by Cooper. Fed it back to him in the post. Love there defensively. Cooper towers over him. Surveys the defense. Backs him down. Whistle. Offensive foul. And that's the second on Cooper Flagg. And the head coach of the Blue Devils seeing what I saw. He got hit pretty hard on the first move. They let that go and then call Cooper for the charge.
Yeah, he gets the retaliation call after.
Pretty aggressive swipe initially.
Yeah, and he tries to basically wipe the defender off of him and gets called for it.
He's going to stay out there with those 2 fouls as we go under 7 minutes to play in the half. Something to keep an eye on. Duke line 125-24. Roach lobs it to the right. O'Meara poked loose by James. What a crafty play. Then O'Meara went to the deck to try to get it back. Rolling around in the paint. We're going to get a tie-up. And the possession error will give it to the Blue Devils.
Gillis going to the court. And O'Meara. 2 strong bodies there trying to come up with a loose ball.
And Cooper Flagg now will exit with 6:42 to play in the half. So we'll keep an eye on that with his 2 fouls. 2 of the 4 called on the team. Meanwhile, Edgecombe returns with 2 for Baylor, as does Robert Wright, as Celestine and Nunn will have a seat. So let's set the five on the floor for you for John Shire's group. It's Proctor, Knipple, James, Gillis, and Malawach. Leading by 1 with 6.5 minutes to play until the break. Gillis has it up top. Looks to the right. Proctor's got it now. Probing, looks to the left, there's Knipple. 18 to shoot, off of a screen set by Malowacz. Con on the drive, got by Roach, spins back up top. Proctor, a ball fake, and a three. Got it. What a pure stroke for Tyrese Proctor. He's got 9, and the lead, as big as it's been all day, it's back to 4. Proctor fired up as he greased right, crossing midcourt. 6:10 to play in the half. Off of a screen right, bounces one for Edgecombe. Some juice in the building. Edgecombe trying to get a screen from O'Meara. Probing at the left elbow. Draws on Malowacz, fades away, can't hit, got his own rebound, off his head, tried to save it. It's off Knipple as he was standing on the sideline when it hit him.
And that was close. Ooh.
As Baylor will inbound with a fresh 20 and 5:57 to play in the half. Nice ball fake for Tyrese at the other end before he stroked his third 3 in 4 attempts here in the first half.
Got that defender way out of picture to try to defend that stop.
And it'll be Robert Wright to inbound. It bounces it for Jeremy Roach in the left corner. Back up top for right now. James there defensively. Drifts to the right, trying to drive him. Got it on Malowacz. High off the window, no. Tapped up by O'Meara and out of bounds. Last touch by the Blue Devils.
Malowacz couldn't quite get both hands on the ball that time, or that would have been a Blue Devil rebound.
And Baylor will get another chance with a fresh 20. I've seen a lot of touch fouls. Meanwhile, O'Meara is playing football inside. He's so physical. He's already got 6 rebounds to go along with 6 points for the Bears. But they're 1 for their last 7 from the field and haven't scored in more than 2 minutes now. Blue Devil defense has been awfully good of late. Roach catches out near midcourt. Waiting with left-hand dribble. He doesn't seem to be on the same page with O'Meara. Wants the screen, gets it now. Roach into the paint, kicks to the right. 3-ball for Love is short. And this time, Kamon has the rebound, and he's fouled by O'Meara coming over the back.
Excellent job by Kamon and getting good rebounding position on the long outside shot. O'Meara had no choice but to go over the top of him if he wanted to get any hand on the ball that time.
That's the second foul on Norchad O'Meara. And it'll be Malowacz to shoot 1-1 on the 8th team foul on Baylor. As Gungba's going to check in. Likely, I would assume, for Malowacz. If he can make the free throws.
And kind of a reckless foul for O'Meara as well. He had really no chance to control that ball. He just dove over Kamon's back and tried to tip it, but there was nobody to tip it to either.
So Kamon, this year, 74.6% at the line, 50 of 67. Front end of the 1-1 is good. His first point of the ball game. And it's the biggest lead of the day at 5, 29-24. And one more free throw coming from Malowacz. By the way, O'Meara staying out there with his 2 fouls. As the second free throw for Kamon is good. And he will come out as Patrick Gungba returns. And the Blue Devil faithful here at the Lenovo Center on their feet. Duke has scored the last 7 over the last 2 minutes. They've ratcheted up the defense. Right, a handoff for Roach, and now back up top for O'Meara, and now Love again. Love wants to drive Gillis. Nearly slid the pivot foot back up top for Roach. He bobbled it and caught in front of Sion James. Over to the right, it's Robert right now. Proctor there defensively. Hesitation dribble. Couldn't get by. Spun to the middle. Nearly fell down. Stepped through on Gungba. Got it blocked. Swatted out of bounds with 8 to shoot. For Pat, that is now 15 blocks on the season, and 9 of them have come here in the postseason.
He has had a heck of a postseason for the Blue Devils.
Baylor will inbound with 8 to shoot, left baseline, left side of the hoop as we see things across from the team benches here at the Lenovo Center. Right, ready to inbound it, looking for Edgecombe in the corner, can't get it to him. Lobs it for O'Meara, who catches along the sideline. Underhand scoop for Love, 5 to shoot. Off of a screen, he's trying to drive on Knipple. He's trying to step through, fed it back up top for Roach. 1 to shoot, can't hit a 3. The rebound for Gungba. A chance to add to a 7-0 push. They lead by 6 as we will under 5 minutes to play in the half. James up top, probing into the paint on Roach. Spun, raked at, went up, got his own rebound, and he'll shoot 2. Who's the foul on? If that's O'Meara, that's 3. We'll wait and see. It is on Norchad O'Meara, and that's his 3rd.
Seemingly you have to take him out now with 4:47 left in the first half, and that's a big blow to Miami.
And as he slaps Sion James on the way back
Baylor,
up.
excuse me.
Easy to understand.
Yeah.
And it'll be interesting to see how Scott Drew navigates this. They lost one of their other big men for the season, Josh Ojanwuna, the junior out of Nigeria, back in early February when he suffered a left knee injury against UCF. Meanwhile, James's first free throw is too strong. But Omier will leave with 4:47 to play in the half. And it'll be Celestine who comes back in. He is 6'7", John Roth, but not nearly the girth of Norchad Omier.
No, Norchad Omier is just a solid, sturdy body, almost 250 pounds in there, and very agile.
One more free throw for Sion, trying to build the lead to 7. Rattled around and went down. It thought about coming out. But it's 31-24. Duke has scored the last 8. And the Blue Devil crowd back on their feet. 4:47 to play in the half. Wright will bring it up for Baylor. Greeted by Sion James. Love now. A handoff for Roach, and now back up top it comes for Robert Wright. Looking over the defense. Wrist to the left, tried to feed Celestine, deflected by James, stolen by Gillis. Outstanding defense. A chance to add to a 7-point lead. The lob inside for Gungba. He's being held by Wright. The shot won't go because the foul was called on the floor. But that is the first on Robert Wright, and back to the free throw line for 2 now on the 10th team foul. And Baylor wants to talk about it. This will extend to a full. We'll take it as well. 4:23 to play in the half. Duke 31 and Baylor 24.
Down many ways, streets, and lanes all across America, you'll find Valero at your go-to gas station, volunteering with local charities, fueling communities 365 days a year, and generally being a good neighbor. So whether you're in Texas, Louisiana, or Tennessee, or right here in Durham, you can always depend on us getting you where you need to be, in life or on the road, right now.
Let me grab my car keys and we'll roll.
We still going to that new bar downtown?
Yeah, it's supposed to be fun. Lexi, give me driving directions from home to downtown bar district.
Autocorrect. Suggest Uber. Pick up home. Drop off downtown bar district.
No, I'm driving.
Suggest the Metro bus. Departing in 12 minutes.
Point taken, Lexi. We'll grab a ride.
If you drink, don't drive. Decide to ride. Brought to you in partnership by Anheuser-Busch, Mothers Against Drunk Driving, and Uber.
Blue Devil fans, the Food Lion Feed Score to Give More program is back for this incredible postseason run. Food Lion Feeds has donated more than 6.5 million meals to local food banks and college pantries through the Food Lion Feed Score to Give More program. For every free throw made by Duke women's and men's basketball teams during this tournament, Food Lion Feeds will continue to donate 100 meals to help our local neighbors in need. Food Lion is the official grocer of the ACC and proud to support the Blue Devils.
Back here in Raleigh, 4:23 to play in our first half. The Blue Devils back to the line, leading by 7, 31-24. And Duke basketball is brought to you in part by Harris Teeter. Harris Teeter, where Blue Devil fans shop for groceries. David Shoemate alongside John Roth. John Rose, our producer and engineer, back inside our network studios is Kyle Schatzberger. The winner is off to Newark in the East Regional. It'll be a Thursday-Saturday regional next weekend if the Blue Devils are able to advance. And the winner of this one will get the winner of, I believe, the nightcap out in Seattle between Oregon and Arizona. One of those historic Big 10, Big 12 showdowns we've all become accustomed to over the years. Or is it Pac-12, no, John Roth?
That's an historic Pac-12 showdown. That's now
not this year.
That became a Big 10 showdown, and now it's just an NCAA advancement game. And the Blue Devils actually, already played Arizona this year. In fact, won out at Arizona back early in the year, their first true road win of the year, and very impressive performance kind of right out of the gate this season. They're very familiar with that Arizona team.
Has scored the last 8 over the last 3 minutes and change, and John Roth, as we've been talking about all year long. Yes, the offense has been outstanding, but this has been about defense.
Oh, yeah, Duke's defense is certainly the thing that they hang their hat on before anything else throughout this entire season. And they've held Baylor to 37% shooting so far, forced a couple turnovers, 4. I think turned one of those into a fast break basket, but they're making it very difficult for this Baylor team to get any of their normal shots, especially out on the perimeter. I mean, the Duke guards are playing a lot of great pressure to the guards of Baylor out around the ring. And so they're doing a nice job so far defensively, and as they're going to continue to focus on that aspect of the game and see what that does to the other end, turning it defense into offense.
It'll be Gungwa shooting 2 out of the timeout. Toes the line. He's made his first 2 today, and the third one is good as well. He doesn't look like a guy who early in the season wasn't playing a lot. I know he's working his way back from an injury, but he didn't really surge into the rotation, probably to the latter third of the schedule.
I think really the second Malik injury.
Is the second free throw good as well? He's got 6. And the lead is 9, biggest of the day, 33-24. It's now a 10-0 push. 4:15 to play in the half. The Duke fans back on their feet. A bounce pass into the arms of Marino Dubravcic. Now it's Edgecombe on the drive. Gungwa may have gotten a piece on that. Edgecombe got his own rebound, put it back up and in, and he was fouled. So he'll have a chance for 3. We'll see who they put the foul on. As Edgecombe now has 6. And that's on Con Knipple, and that's his second. So he might have to have a seat with 4:07 to go in the half. Cooper Flagg, by the way, is on the bench with 2 fouls. He picked up his second with about 6:45 to go until the break. And now Edgecombe at 78.8% to the line, trying to cut the deficit to 6.
Blue Devils' run ended at 10-0.
And he hits the free throw. So it's 33-27 as we approach 4 minutes to play in our first half. Knipple stays out there with those 2 fouls. He's out there with James, Gillis, Gungwa, and Proctor as we get a kick ball along the sideline. James trying to get it to Knipple, and it was kicked by Celestine, and that's going to take us to a timeout. 3:57 to play until the break. It's Duke 33 and Baylor 27.
Hey Blue Devil fans, it's game day, and Harris Teeter knows your party is just as important as the game. With mouth-watering wings, delicious dips, pre-ordered party platters to please any crowd, and not to mention the best pizzas, ribs, and ready-to-grill pub burgers in town. Only Harris Teeter can deliver delicious as you huddle up with family and friends to celebrate. Set a reminder to order ahead if you need party platters, and make Harris Teeter your pre-game stop before the next game. Harris Teeter, where Blue Devil fans shop for their delicious game day.
Duke, Baylor.
Steps to the left, launches, count it.
More from Raleigh after this local break.
This season, Duke basketball has teamed up with Duke Children's for the Charity Stripe 1000 Challenge. Thanks to 605 Hoops Heroes, over $19,000 has already been raised for the kids at Duke Children's. Fans, it's not too late to join our team and show your support. Give your $25 by texting Hoops Hero to 919-372-4159. That's 919-372-4159 and become a Duke Children's Hoops Hero today.
Hi, I'm Megan Gower of Her Hoop Stats. Each week, co-host Rob Joyce and I break down all the latest around women's basketball on the Gower Hour. We analyze what's happened each week, preview what's to come, and talk with guests from around the country to make sure you're covered coast to coast from now all the way through the Final Four in April. Available each week, search and subscribe to Her Hoop Stats in your feed on Apple, Google Play, Spotify, or wherever you get your podcasts, and check out herhoopstats.com for all your women's hoops needs.
Postseason coverage of Duke basketball is presented by Duke Stores. Have you checked out shop.duke.edu? Shop.duke.edu, where real Duke fans shop.
33-27, our first half score, 3:57 to play in the first half from the Raleigh region. Second round action of the NCAA tournament. Kyle Shasberg with you inside Studio 21. Tyrese Proctor leading the Blue Devils in scoring with 9 points. His 3 triples helping the Blue Devils build this first half lead over the Bears.
Gillis has it up top. Looks to the right. Proctor's got it now. Probing. Looks to the left. There's Knipple. 18 to shoot. Off of a screen. Set by Malowacz. Con on the drive. Got by Roach. Spins back up top. Proctor. A ball fake and a 3. Got it. What a pure stroke for Tyrese Proctor. He's got 9, and the lead, as big as it's been all day, it's back to 4.
Part of what would be a 10-0 run, too, for the Blue Devils. That last field goal coming almost 2.5 minutes ago, though, as it's been a lot of free throws for Duke. They lead 33-27. More highlights coming up at halftime. David, John, as well as a look at all the other scores as more teams are looking to find their way into the Sweet 16.
All right, Kyle, thank you. As we remind you that Blue Devil Basketball is brought to you in part by Kohl's. The unexpected happens every day. When it does, head to Kohl's and Kohl's.com for everything your family needs. Kohl's, where families come first. So the Blue Devils will be in possession with the 6-point advantage and 3:57 to play in the half, 33-27. Cooper Flagg is checked in, so he sat for nearly 3 minutes with those 2 fouls. Got to be careful. He's out there with Proctor, James, Gungba, and Gillis. Knipple has gone to the bench with his 2 fouls. Cooper catches up top, swings it low to the left. Proctor open, drives instead of a shot. Goes to the left side of the paint, puts it off the window and in. He's the first into double figures, and the lead to 8, 35-27. 3.5 minutes to play until the intermission. Edgecombe across midcourt, greeted by Tyrese Proctor. Gets the screen up top from Dubravcic. Wants to drive on Gungba. Got into the paint. Trying to step through, cannot. Sends it to the right and Love. Spinning on Cooper. Thinking about trying to shoot. Instead, he'll drive into the paint. Spins. Fed it to Edgecombe. And on Gungba. Having a hard time. Back up top to Love. 5 to shoot. Spins. Nearly fell down. 3 to shoot. To the left. It's Celestine with 1. Going to have to fire. And he hit a 3 at the buzzer. 35.7%. Got that one. 35-30. Quickly down court, it's Cooper. Into the paint. Spins to the middle. Steps through. Takes the contact. Scores anyway. Didn't get the whistle, but he's got 10. 37-30. 2:50 to play in the half.
Blue Devils couldn't play much better defense than they did on the previous possession, but then they go right into offensive mode and score quickly to go up 7.
Love sends it up top to Dubravcic. And now a handoff into the arms of Jaden Nunn. Nunn waiting. It's a screen for Dubravcic at the top of the key. Sends it to the left. Love a 3 again. Didn't get this one. Gungba the rebound. Good post position to get that rebound. And here comes Sion across midcourt. Up by 7. To the left, Gillis. Waiting. 2:20 to play in the half. Looking to the left is Gungba now. Feeds it for Cooper Flagg at the top of the key. Cooper comes off of a screen and hits a 3. Cooper on a tear. He's got 13. And for the first time today, a double-digit lead. 40-30. 2 minutes to play in the half. And a timeout taken by Baylor. Let's break for 30. Cooper starting to cook in Raleigh.
It's tournament time for your Blue Devils. You can show your support of Duke all year long by purchasing authentic Duke merchandise from DukeStore.com. Our huge assortment of Duke apparel means you won't have to go anywhere else for the perfect t-shirt, jersey, sweatshirt, or hat. The only collection of Duke merchandise in the world that actually comes to you directly from Duke University. DukeStore.com, where real Duke fans shop.
1:58 to play in our first half. The Blue Devils lead it by 10, 40-30. Earlier was a 10-0 push. John Roth, now it's been about Cooper Flagg doing what he does. Sometimes he can just go takeover mode, and he's doing that right now.
He certainly is on both ends of the floor, up to 13 points now to lead everybody in this game in scoring. Hit 3 of his 4 shots. He's only got 1 rebound and 1 assist, but he also was sitting out 3 or 4 minutes with the 2 fouls and just came right back into the lineup and lit it up.
And foul difficulty, a part of the story. As Knipple and Cooper each have 2. Cooper's on the floor. Knipple's on the bench for Baylor. Edgecombe has 2 and O'Meara on the bench with 3. Meanwhile, look out Mason Gillis. Somebody scratched him along his neck. Looks like he might even be bleeding. Kind of physicality you see in the second round of the NCAA tournament. Here's Wright probing at the right elbow. James on his hip. Backpedals, fires, can't hit. Flagg's got the rebound. Here's Sion James across midcourt up by 10. Here's Cooper on the right. Back to James on the left. He'll drive whistle. That's got to be a foul on Wright, a blocking foul it is. As he was falling down, he brought James down with him, and that's the second on Robert Wright. Nothing malicious there, but he wasn't anywhere close to a legal guarding position.
And Sion trying to drive to the basket is only he can do, so that's going to be a collision.
So Wright becomes the 3rd player for Baylor with 2 or more fouls. And the Blue Devils to the line where they're 13 of 15 here in the first half. They've been very aggressive getting to the 10, and they've been rewarded with free throws. Sion has made 1 of his 2 attempts. And now 1 out of 3 as that one was short. The first 2 were long, if you remember, got the roll on the second one.
And their big guy O'Meara has been out during this latest Duke push. He's been out the last 3 minutes after picking up his 3rd foul.
Meanwhile, the graduate student from Sugar Hill, Georgia, the grad transfer from Tulane, James, 1 out of 2 again. So he's got 4. The lead 11, 41-30. Duke has now scored the last 6. They've made each of their last 3 from the field. Baylor, 2 of their last 12. On the right, Edgecombe and Roach. Back up top for Celestine. Further to the left it goes, and Langston Love. Gillis there defensively. Love backpedal, sends it up top for Edgecombe. Shot clock's at 13. To the right, Celestine. Off of the screen, probing with the left-hand dribble into the paint, lobs it to the left, and Roach. 7 on the timer, curling on Proctor. Steps through, kicks outside, whistle underneath. 2 guys in a pile off the ball. It's Gungba and one of the big guys for Baylor, Dubrovcic, and he is barking at Cooper Flagg, and the officials have to step in. I think the foul was given to Gungba, which would be his first, and they certainly are going to go look at this. I mean, it was well away from the ball, John Roth. I just looked over, and there was a tackle inside, and now the Blue Devil fans are getting a second look at this, and they're thinking Dubrovcic did something untoward.
Previous play is under review.
And Dubrovcic still barking at the Duke bench.
It looked like when he was on the floor, I didn't see the beginning of that play, but as they were separating themselves, he still had Gungba's elbow in a hook. So we'll see if that plays into this at all, as they've now finally got off the floor and headed to their respective benches while the officials check out the replays.
And while they look at it, remind you that Sharp Business System sets the same standard of excellence in office equipment as the Blue Devils do in basketball. Count on Sharp for state-of-the-art office equipment. Sharp, changing the way companies do business. Now, for the protocol here, when they go to the monitor like this, they can't take away the foul on Gungba. That's in the books. That's a common foul. They also can't give Dubrovcic a common foul. The only thing they can add here would be something that would either be flagrant if they determined it happened in live ball action, or contact technical if they determined it happened after the whistle. 2 of the 3 officials have taken a peek. Clarence Armstrong and Kip Kissinger. Now they brought in the 3rd, Brian O'Connell. You heard the Duke fans react in earnest when they saw what was going on. Chanting, "You can't do that now." That's what you hear in the background. And now the 3 officials have taken a look, and they're huddled up. And we'll see what they come away with. As we get probably our cleanest look yet on the baseline. Gungba definitely threw him down. That was probably the foul, and Dubrovcic brought him down with him, and then kind of pinned him down, John Roth.
Yeah, that last hook there, they both were hooked up with each other, no question. And Gungba did foul him, no question about that either.
And we'll wait and see as they're back over the monitor looking again. We'll get you legal ID here in a second, but we want to get the official announcement from Kip Kissinger, our lead official, here in a second, as they continue to look at the monitor, probably looking at after the play as well. As Dubrovcic and Gungba were in a pile. By the way, that foul on Gungba, just the 16th foul, so no free throws on that for Baylor. And it looks like they've decided something. I think they're going to call something with this discussion being as lengthy as it is, but I was wrong earlier as we get yet another peek. Yeah, he definitely hooked Gungba after he went down, and here's the announcement. Nope, I thought it was the announcement. One more look for Kip Kissinger. They're talking to the 2 head coaches, and they're talking to the scorers table, and then they'll bring us all into the loop. And here is Kip Kissinger going to the microphone.
They're simultaneous. All right, after review, we have a common foul on 21 Duke, or White. And then we have a flagrant 1, hook and hold on 22 Green. Will be 2 shots for Duke in the ball.
So they determined that it happened. You could kind of hear the official talking in the background simultaneous that it happened during live ball action. That is significant, John Roth. Now, he's hit him today, but that means Gungba has to shoot the free throws. If it's a contact technical, you get to pick.
Gungba, though, striding up there, he'll be at the line all by himself. And as you heard, Duke will get the ball as well. He will still get tagged with a personal foul, though.
That was the right call. It's the first free throw for Pat. He's good. He's got 7. You never know who's going to be part of the postseason story, but Patrick Gungba has certainly been a big piece. Started in Charlotte, has continued here in Raleigh, and a chance to build the lead to 13. He does. He's got 8, and it's 43-30 with 1:13 to play in the half, and Duke will be in possession as well. And Cooper will be the inbounder. He's out there with Sion, James Mason Gillis, the junior out of Sydney, Australia, Tyrese Proctor, and Patrick Gungba. And is Caleb Foster going to come in? They were thinking about it. He'll walk to check in after this possession. I bet offense or defense to get Cooper out of there after this possession. James across midcourt, up 43-30, 1:05 to go in the half. Defended by Jeremy Roach. James drifts to the left. There's Tyrese Proctor. Back up top for Sion. A lob to Cooper to punch it down over the top of the defense. And John Shire calls for time. We break for 30. 54.1 to play in the half. All of a sudden, Duke up by 15.
Which of us, detective, do you suspect is the millionaire?
The evidence is everywhere. Your diamond necklace, Monty's new yacht, and the butler's new convertible. Admit it, you're all Maximilian scratch-off winners.
Of course we are. With 25 prizes of $1 million, you could be too.
New Maximilian from the North Carolina Education Lottery. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning are 1 in 2.95. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
So 55.2 seconds to play in our first half. The Blue Devils by 15, 45-30. Before we get back to action, 10 seconds for station identification. This is Duke basketball from Learfield. Well, it's the Blue Devils' second 10-0 run of the first half. And this one gives them their biggest lead of the day. As suspected, Cooper Flagg came out of the ballgame when Caleb Foster came back in with those 2 fouls. Also worth noting, Norchad O'Meara's back out there for Baylor with 3 fouls. Edgecombe has 2 as he comes across midcourt. A crossover on Proctor. Kicks to the corner. Love on the drive. Into the paint on Tyrese. Nothing doing. Spins. Waits. In trouble. Kicks to the left. Roach in the corner. A 3. No. The rebound fought for. James has it. 8 seconds the differential. Shot clock to game clock. A chance to add to a 15-point lead. No chance for a 2-for-1 here, so we're going to take as much time as possible. As James holding out near midcourt. We're down to 23 seconds to play in the half. Now 14 to shoot. On the left to Tyrese Proctor. Back up top, James. 9 on the timer. Gungba comes to set a screen. Sion with 6 and 5. To the right, it's Caleb. Looking inside, not there. Up top, James. A ball fake, kicks to the right. Foster with 2, with 1. The floater. Got it! Caleb Foster. 4 seconds to go in the half. It's Edgecombe across midcourt with 2. At the buzzer, it's blocked. How about that? Pat got a piece, and it takes him to the locker room, up by 17.
A 12-0 run by the Blue Devils to close the half on the heels of a 10-0 run. They've opened up a 17-point lead on Baylor at halftime.
In fitting, John Roth, with the way this postseason run has gone, Caleb Foster out of the shadows and onto the headlines. He gets the floater, and then Patrick Gungba, who's been a revelation, gets the rejection to send us to the locker room with Duke up by 17, 47-30, as we send it to the studio. And Kyle.
Thanks so much, David. Explosive finish for the Blue Devils. 14-3 push there. They lead 47-30. Coming up at halftime, we'll take you through all of the highlights, give you the numbers, and then look at the other second-round scores in the NCAA tournament. 6 more games on tap. One other team into the Sweet 16. There's been 9 of those tickets punched. All of that and more coming up at halftime. Duke by 17 at the break on the Blue Devil Sports Network from Learfield.
Which of us, detective, do you suspect is the millionaire?
The evidence is everywhere. Your diamond necklace, Monty's new yacht, and the butler's new convertible. Admit it, you're all Maximilian scratch-off winners.
Of course we are. With 25 prizes of $1 million, you could be too.
New Maximilian from the North Carolina Education Lottery. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning are 1 in 2.95. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
Cut time, cut costs, cut grass. Double your runtime with free extra battery deals on Steel tools and cut through your spring cleaning to-do list. Mow, trim, cut, prune. Do it all with Steel battery. Find your deal at your local Steel dealer or shop online at steelusa.com. Get a free extra battery with select Steel tool set. Set includes battery and charger. Extra batteries up to $160 MSRP value. Offer valid for a limited time only at participating dealers while supplies last.
You're listening to Duke basketball in the NCAA tournament. We'll have more from the Lenovo Center after this local timeout.
Down many ways, streets, and lanes all across America, you'll find Valero. At your go-to gas station, volunteering with local charities, fueling communities 365 days a year, and generally being a good neighbor. So whether you're in Texas, Louisiana, or Tennessee, or right here in Durham, you can always depend on us getting you where you need to be, in life or on the road, right now.
Which school will take home the prestigious Learfield Directors Cup as the top college athletic programs for the 2024-25 college athletics season? You can follow the standings of your favorite team or alma mater at L Directors Cup on Twitter and online at thedirectorscup.com. Trophies will be awarded in June 2025 to the winning institutions in all college sports divisions. Learfield Directors Cup, the crowning achievement in college athletics.
On the Blue Devils Sports Network from Learfield, welcome to the Duke Basketball Halftime Report. Coming up, we'll break down the game's first 20 minutes, update scores from the ACC and the top 25, and preview the second half. Our halftime coverage begins inside the Learfield Network studios. Here's Kyle Schasberger.
Kahn, one dribble, bounces it to the baseline. Cooper's got it now. Edgecombe there defensively. Going to work on him. Into the paint, backs him down, knocked loose. Cooper got it back, put it up, counted in a foul. My goodness, what a strong move inside, and Edgecombe picks up his first.
And Cooper with a quick release on that shot right as he was being hit. Still able to release and follow through, get it to go.
Cooper Flagg with 15 points to lead everyone in scoring after one half of play, 47-30. Top seed in the East, Duke ahead of Baylor by 17, 47-30. The top seed leading the 9-seeded Bears at halftime. Let's take you through some of the other scores going on in the NCAA tournament. Had one final earlier. Most of the other action coming up a little bit later on today. Half the Sweet 16 was filled out yesterday, and 8-seeded UConn, top-seeded Florida, first out of the gates earlier in Raleigh, and the Gators securing their first Sweet 16 appearance since 2017.
Gators first lead since the first half. McNeely, right sideline, drives, knocked loose from behind by Richard. To Condon, outlet pass to Richard, dunks with two hands.
Let's go, Sean. Wow.
Sean Kelly from Learfield, part of a 6-0 spurt where Florida had trailed 61-58 with a little over 4 minutes to play in the ball game, and Florida's able to pull away for the 77-75 win, ending UConn's 13-game NCAA tournament win streak. Florida into the Sweet 16. They become the 9th team into the second weekend. Other teams looking to join the Gators later today. 6-seeded Illinois, 3-seeded Kentucky. That'll be the third contest coming from the Midwest region in Milwaukee. 5:15 start between the Fighting Illini and the Wildcats. 2-7 showdown between Alabama and St. Mary's in the East from Cleveland's Rocket Arena. That will get going at 6:10. Then Nico Medved and 12-seeded Colorado State will look to spring the upset over 4-seeded Maryland.
Honestly, I know it's like we haven't really gotten into, whatever people doubting us or where we are. We just have a strong level of belief in what we're doing. We have a really competitive group who cares and really believes they can win, that loves to put it all out there. And I just think more than worrying about whatever people think of us, it's just more we just really try to double down on the belief in ourselves, and I think that's really what's carried us.
Colorado State upset 5-seeded Memphis on Friday. The Rams are one of 3 remaining double-digit seeds and 2 double-digit seeds here in the round of 32, looking to make their way to the Sweet 16. Arkansas, a 10 seed, downing 2-seeded St. John's yesterday, is the third double-digit seed that still remains. That'll be a 7-10 start between Colorado State and Maryland in Seattle. 10-seeded New Mexico takes aim at 2-seeded Michigan State. 8:40 start from Cleveland. In between that, it'll be 6-seeded Ole Miss and 3-seeded Iowa State in Milwaukee as part of the South region. That's teed up for a 7:45 tip-off. And then the final game of the day at 9:40 from Seattle, 5-seeded Oregon and 4-seeded Arizona. The winner of that game will have the winner of Duke and Baylor next week in the Sweet 16. Duke men's basketball, 17-point lead at the break, looking to join Duke women's basketball and Carol Lawson, who are into the Sweet 16 in consecutive years.
Shot clock at 5. Kelly drives left on O'Connell. A shut off. Back to the left wing, 3 to shoot. To the foul line, 2 to shoot. Contested 2. Air ball. Rebound to Donovan. Here comes Duke. 3-on-1 the other way. Jackson left wing for 3. And the lead.
Back to back. Let's go, Duke. And the crowd goes wild. Here they come.
Chris Edwards and Debbie Taylor on the Blue Devil Sports Network. Part of a 59-53 victory for the Blue Devils. That three-pointer from Ashlyn Jackson was one of 5 for her. She had 20 points for a Blue Devil lead in scoring. Part of a run in the third quarter where Duke scored 16 of the first 17 points. A 16-1 push on the locker room after they trailed by 5 at the half. And 2-seeded Duke knocks off 10-seeded Oregon 59-53. A 19th Sweet 16 overall. Again, consecutive years for Carol Lawson, who was fired up about the crowd support, too, ahead of the men's game and the synergy between both the programs.
The crowd definitely helped our team. There's no doubt. The energy in there was amazing on Friday night, and it was amazing today. And when we were down, I thought they really kind of gave us a push there. This is Duke, and what an amazing March we've had so far. I felt confident we'd get a lot of people to come out because now everybody's going to go home and rush to their television, to watch the men play Baylor, and we're rooting hard for those guys, and hopefully we can have 2 teams in the Sweet 16 by the end of the afternoon. But it is exciting on campus. It is a lot of fun. We obviously share the same space, so we're around our men's team all the time and just rooting for each other. I mean, when we won the ACC tournament, we came back and it was like, hey guys, now you go win the ACC tournament. And so it's just kind of like a lot of support between both programs. And, so we're excited for them and hopefully they'll get the job done.
Carol Lawson following the 59-53 win over Oregon inside Cameron Indoor Stadium. The women are on to the Sweet 16. Duke led by 2 in double figures after one half of play on the men's side. Cooper Flagg with 15, Tyrese Proctor with 11. Blue Devils end on a 12-0 spurt to close the opening stanza. They lead by 17, 47-30. We'll take you through some of the highlights when we return in a moment on the Blue Devil Sports Network from Learfield.
Progressive presents Renter's MVP's Most Valuable Possessions. Today's MVP, Emily Neal's 70-inch TV. Because after watching her second-grade students yell at each other for hours, there's nothing Emily enjoys more than watching super-rich housewives also yell at each other. Why? Because those women are not her responsibility. And that's why her TV is today's MVP. Keep your most valuable possessions protected by bundling your renters and auto insurance with Progressive. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company affiliates and other insurers not available in all states.
It's tournament time for your Blue Devils. You can show your support of Duke all year long by purchasing authentic Duke merchandise from DukeStore.com. Our huge assortment of Duke apparel means you won't have to go anywhere else for the perfect t-shirt, jersey, sweatshirt, or hat. The only collection of Duke merchandise in the world that actually comes to you directly from Duke University. DukeStore.com, where real Duke fans shop.
Follow the Blue Devils on and off the hardwood at Duke MBB. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, and more. This is Duke Basketball from Learfield.
Whether you're in the market for a new boat or just need service or accessories for an existing boat, turn to Overby Marine. Now with 2 locations in Kittrell and Lake Gaston, Overby Marine offers the highest quality of marine products and services, including the latest from Sea Ray, Centurion, Avalon, Bennington, as well as Cobalt boats. Overby Marine also offers the largest selection of parts in the region, along with full-service facilities at their 2 locations. Stop by or give them a call at 252-586-3593 or online at overbymarine.com. Overby Marine. Don't let adventure pass you by.
It's bow time. Sometimes the craving for Bojangles Supremes is so strong you just gotta have them. Even when your gas tank is on empty and Bojangles is still 10 miles down the highway. Nothing beats the flavor of Bojangles Juicy Golden Supremes, especially when they're part of a perfect combo with 4 boldly seasoned chicken Supremes, a made-from-scratch biscuit, fixin', and some legendary iced tea. The only thing that can satisfy your hunger is that delicious southern flavor. So when the craving is supreme, put the pedal to the metal. It's bow time.
copyrighted broadcast is an exclusive presentation of Learfield under the broadcasting rights granted by Duke University. Reuse of this presentation is prohibited without the expressed written consent of Duke University and Learfield. Announcers are provided by Learfield and approved by Duke University.
Duke leads by their largest margin of the contest at halftime over Baylor 47-30. Top-seeded Blue Devils greater than the 9-seeded Bears, as the winner of this one will punch their ticket to the Sweet 16. Duke eyeing down a 30th Sweet 16 in program history, just 20 minutes away. Kyle Schasberger with you back inside Studio 21. Let's take you through some of the highlights. And it was a hot start from deep for the Blue Devils with a couple of three-pointers from Tyrese Proctor to break the seal. Con Knippel breaking a 4-4 tie, giving Duke a 7-4 advantage. And Tyrese Proctor continuing to stay hot from downtown, giving the Blue Devils a 4-point lead.
Caleb up top. Proctor's open from three. Good again. His second of the day. And the Blue Devil lead grows to 4.
Just shooting so confidently here in this tournament.
15-11, 12:40 to play in the half.
It was a game that would be defined by a seesaw-like affair, though, throughout much of the first half, as there were 6 ties and 8 lead changes throughout. Sion James helping the Blue Devils back in front in a big way.
Blue Devils inbounded for James up top. Drives to the right, got around Omier, goes up and dunks it down. James with authority, and Duke is back in front 23-21 as we approach 8 minutes to play in the half.
Baylor's Langston Love fired right back with a 3 to lift the Bears had 24-23. It was then that Duke made their run 10 straight points and included another tray bomb from Tyrese, who had drilled 6 threes apiece in each of his last 2 games. Showed the ability, though, to not just rely on the deep ball.
Cooper catches up top, swings it low to the left. Proctor open, drives instead of a shot. Goes to the left side of the paint, puts it off the window and in. He's the first into double figures, and the lead to 8, 35-27.
Lead would grow to 10 thanks to Cooper Flagg.
Looking to the left is Gungba now. Feeds it for Cooper Flagg at the top of the key. Cooper comes off of a screen and hits a 3. Cooper on a tear. He's got 13, and for the first time today, a double-digit lead, 40-30. 2 minutes to play in the half.
Flagg wasn't finished as things continued to escalate quickly.
James drifts to the left. There's Tyrese Proctor. Back up top for Sion. A lob to Cooper to punch it down over the top of the defense, and John Shire calls for time.
Flagg with a game-high 15 at halftime as part of the 17-point lead that was made possible by a 12-0 push to end the half. Fireworks on both ends of the floor.
Gungba comes to set a screen. Sion with 6 and 5. To the right, it's Caleb. Looking inside, not there. Up top, James. A ball fake, kicks to the right. Foster with 2, with 1. The floater. Got it! Caleb Foster. 4 seconds to go in the half. It's Edgecombe across midcourt with 2. At the buzzer, it's blocked. How about that? Pat got a piece, and it takes him to the locker room, up by 17.
47-30, our halftime score. John Roth will take you through the numbers when we return to Raleigh in a moment. The Blue Devil basketball from Learfield.
Let me grab my car keys, and we'll roll.
We still going to that new bar downtown?
Yeah, it's supposed to be fun. Lexi, give me driving directions from home to downtown bar district.
Autocorrect. Suggest Uber. Pick up. Home. Drop off downtown bar district.
No, I'm driving.
Suggest the Metro bus. Departing in 12 minutes.
Point taken, Lexi. We'll grab a ride.
If you drink, don't drive. Decide to ride. Brought to you in partnership by Anheuser-Busch, Mothers Against Drunk Driving, and Uber.
You're listening to Duke basketball in the NCAA tournament. We'll return to Raleigh in 1 minute.
Think about the last time you moved. Remember how you said you'd never do it alone again? We know moving is tough, but at 2 Men and a Truck, we make it easy. No matter the move, big or small, we'll make it a smooth one. We're the movers who care and will prove it with our 96% referral rate and courteous background check movers. We're local and affordable, and we can help at a price that won't make you wish you'd done it on your own. When you're ready, give us a call or find us online for a free estimate at 2menandatruck.com.
Enjoying the game but not the drink being spilled down your back?
Or the foam finger poking you in the face? Well, head to the concession stand, grab a Lindy's Italian Ice, and take a 6-ounce vacation. A 6-ounce cup of lemon Italian Ice will make you feel like you're swaying in a hammock, and the only thing in your face is a cool, salty breeze. That ought to have you refreshed. Now get your head back in the game and start belting out blue and white with the youthful exuberance of the freshman behind you. Yes, the same one that keeps spilling his drink down your back. Lindy's Italian Ice. Have an ice day.
Back in Raleigh, the Duke Blue Devils on top of Baylor 47-30 at the break. Let's check out our halftime stats presented by Steel. Trusted steel power in the palm of your hand. Visit your local Steel dealer or shop online at steelusa.com. For the Blue Devils, 2 players have scored in double figures. As Kyle mentioned, Cooper Flagg with 15 and Tyrese Proctor with 11. Cooper 4 out of 5 from the floor and 6 out of 7 from the free throw line, and Tyrese has knocked down 3 threes so far. Other scores for Duke include 8 points from Gangba, 4 apiece from James and Foster, 3 for Knipple, and 2 for Kaman Malawach. The total of 47 came on 65% shooting from the floor for the Blue Devils, and along with the shooting from the floor, they were also 16 out of 19 from the free throw line. On the Baylor side of things, Norchad Omier started strong. In fact, he scored their first 6 points, but he has not scored since then. He also has a team-best 6 rebounds for them. Their leading scorer is Edgecombe at the break with 7, and Langston Love also has 6. And they've shot just 35% from the floor overall, 4 out of 12 from 3, and they're just 2 for 2 at the free throw line. They have out-rebounded the Blue Devils 16-13. Duke's got, though, a huge lead in fast break points. They've outscored Baylor in the transition game 12-3. So the Blue Devils up big at the half. We've got 20 minutes more to go. You're listening to Duke basketball from Learfield.
This is Coke Zero Sugar. Could I be the best Coke ever? Try and taste with your ears. Hear those bubbles? Imagine them tingling on your tongue. Fizzy deliciousness. Listen to that cascading liquid. A mouth-watering waterfall. Irresistibly tasty. Zero sugar. Crisp, refreshing, and ice cold. Is Coke Zero Sugar the best Coke ever? Try and decide.
Hey Duke fans, we want you to choose different and choose fun with Hi-Chew, the immensely fruity, intensely chewy candy that leaves your mouth watering with over 30 true-to-life flavors. Hi-Chew is available in sticks, peg bags, stand-up pouches, and unwrapped bites for when you're on the go. Head to your local grocery or convenience store to grab a bag, or search hichew.com to find Hi-Chew candy near you. That's hi-chew.com.
Duke, Baylor.
Jumps up from 3. Give it to him!
We'll have more from Raleigh after this local break.
He'll fire, and it's good!
This is Duke head men's basketball coach John Shire. When it comes to keeping our team healthy, we turn to the team at Duke Sports Medicine. We offer full-service sports medicine care at locations throughout the Triangle, where you can see the same experts used by Duke Athletics. Make an appointment or learn more at dukehealth.org/sportsmedicine. Go Duke.
The crowd loves that.
Which schools will take home the prestigious Learfield Directors Cup as the top college athletic programs for the 2024-25 college athletics season? You can follow the standings of your favorite team or alma mater at L Directors Cup on Twitter and online at thedirectorscup.com. Trophies will be awarded in June 2025 to the winning institutions in all college sports divisions. Learfield Directors Cup, the crowning achievement in college athletics.
Off we go to the second half here in Raleigh. The Blue Devils by 17, 47-30. David Shumate alongside John Roth. John Rose, our producer and engineer. Back inside our network studios, as always, is Kyle Schafsberger. We're going to watch the Blue Devils go right to left here in the second half as we see things across from the team benches. The Blue Devils had 2 separate double-digit runs in that first half. They were down 24-23 before they ripped off 10 in a row. And then John Roth, a 12-0 run to close the half. They go from down 24-23 to up 47-30 at the break.
Yeah, 24-6 run over those last 8 minutes, essentially, and a 12-0 finish was something to behold. Certainly the big punctuation dunk from Cooper Flagg on the long lob from Sion James was a big one, but Caleb Foster also just such a nice clutch finish at the end, patiently taking his time, getting in the lane and dropping in that floater just before the clock.
You touched on all the shooting numbers, 65%. That's the high water mark this season in terms of a first half shooting percentage. Baylor will have it first, and away we go in the second half. The winner to the Sweet 16 in Newark come Thursday night. O'Meara for Love, and now into the corner goes for Jeremy Roach. Swings it back up top for Wright. Drifts to the right. Behind the back with a dribble. Once, twice. Crossing over on James. Up top, O'Meara. Thought about a three. Instead, he'll drive on Maluwach. Got inside. A hop step off the window and in. Norchad O'Meara has 8. And the Blue Devil lead is 15, 47-32. 30 seconds into the second stanza. Here comes Cooper to the other end. Right to the rack. Off the window, no. Tap foul low over the backboard and out of bounds. Last touch by the Blue Devils. And it'll be Baylor in possession with the Blue Devils leading 47-32. And Robert Wright across midcourt. O'Meara comes to set a screen. Comes off of it, does Wright. Probing with James on his hip. Got into the paint. Fades away from 8 feet out. Didn't get the roll. Cooper goes for the rebound. Trying to tie up O'Meara. I think he did. The alternating possession will give it to the Blue Devils.
And for Baylor, Jeremy Roach did start the second half, as David mentioned. First half had 1 3-pointer on overall 5 field goal attempts.
And of course, starters back out there for John Shire's group as Baylor comes to full court pressure. The Blue Devils break it easily. Now it's 4-on-2. James to the 10, and he lays it in with the left hand. So the lead back to 17, 49-32 with 19 minutes to go. O'Meara for Roach on the right, crossing over, probing into the paint, waits, steps through, fades away on Proctor, and hits. Jeremy Roach has his second field goal for Baylor. He's got 5, and it's 49-34 with 18:50 to go. And by the way, the starters did start the second half. James Proctor, Knipple Flagg, and Kaman Maluwach, the freshman out of Rebecca, South Sudan. As James sends it over to the right, Khan Knipple now. Khan waiting, a left-hand dribble, back up top it comes for Cooper Flagg. Surveys the defense, thinking about a 3, still thinking about it. Crossing over, drives O'Meara to the baseline, off the window and in. Cooper has 17, and the lead back to 17, 51-34 with 18:22 to go. Right across midcourt, greeted by James. Drifts to the right. Waiting, looking inside, bounces it to the left. There's Edgecombe. Looking inside for O'Meara, doing battle with Maluwach. Faces up on him, trying to drive him into the paint. Forced it off the window and in. Norchad O'Meara is the first into double figures for Baylor, and it's 51-36 with 18 minutes to go.
Starting the second half hot like he did the start of the game.
Yeah, the two teams trading baskets here in the second half. Blue was 2 for 3 to start. Baylor 3 out of 4. Proctor has it on the right, thinking about a 3 instead. Inside to the big fella, and Maluwach with a thunderous dunk for his first field goal. 53-36, 17:40 to go. Right across midcourt. Drifts to the left, greeted by Sion James. A bounce pass up top. O'Meara now. Waiting, looking to the left, dribbles that way. Kind of dribbles one to Love along the deck, and Love goes into the paint, floats, can't hit. The rebound tapped by Maluwach. Knipple trying to save it. Love out of bounds when he got a hand on it. And Duke will have it, leading by 17.
Knipple, a little crafty work down there. Ending up knocking the ball out off of Baylor.
Also nice contest for Kaman on O'Meara to defend without fouling there. And now Baylor again extending the pressure. Cooper Bollard in backcourt, got around right. Drives him, lobs it. Maluwach couldn't catch it cleanly. Baylor trying to save it. Edgecombe did. So a turnover, and here comes right across midcourt, just a Blue Devils third. Edgecombe on the drop, trying to turn the corner on James. Takes the contact. He'll shoot 2. Take your pick. Maluwach or James on the foul, and it'll be on Sion, and that's his first. Baylor will go to the line trailing by 17 with 17:06 to go. Kind of the way the first half started, John Rothman, was kind of this back and forth affair before the Blue Devils really seized control about midway through the first half.
Yeah, it was back and forth. Several lead changes, and Baylor actually did lead by 1 right at around the 8-minute mark in that half before the Blue Devils really turned it on down the last 8 minutes of the half.
Edgecombe had 7 in that first half. He's their second leading scorer, and now he's got 8 as he hits the free throw. So much of the storyline coming in was familiarity. Last time down, we saw Wright and Cooper playing against each other. Imagine that happened a bunch of times in practice a year ago. Obviously, Jeremy Roach, his time that he spent at Duke was a big part of the storyline. Went to a Final Four, Mike Krzyzewski's final season on Elite Eight a year ago. As Edgecombe has one more free throw to come. And it rattled out. Cooper's got the rebound. Familiar faces in many ways. John Roth has been friendly, but not on the court today. 53-37. Cooper and company up with 17 minutes to go. Proctor has it now. Drives, whips it to the left. James is wide open. Can't hit a three. They try to get the offensive rebound. Malawach did. Back for Kahn. Outside Proctor. A ball fake to the left. James sets the feed. And he can't hit. And the rebound for Roach on the weak side.
Two good looks for James. Just couldn't get him to drop.
Wide open looks. Roach on the left baseline. Got by Proctor. Got airborne. Kicks up top. Edgecombe with three. That does go down for Baylor. And they're back within 13. 53-40. 16:22 to go. As Cooper comes across midcourt. Looks to the left. Gets it to Tyrese Proctor. Tyrese defended by O'Meara. Crossing over. Thought about a three. Instead, he'll drive him. Rise up from 15 feet out and hit. Whew. Tyrese Proctor in his bag. He's got 13.
5 out of 6 shooting today for Tyrese. 3 of those from beyond the arc.
And it's 55-40 with 16 minutes to go. Right for Baylor. Sends it to the right corner, and Jeremy Roach on the drive. Got to step on Cooper. Scooped. Got it blocked. I don't know if Malawach or Cooper got a piece. Either way, Kahn can nipple out of there with it. And a hit ahead for Cooper along the left sideline. In transition. Hesitation dribble. Turn the corner on right. Spun and fouled. It's either on Love or Wright. We'll see. It's going to chase us to a timeout. It's going to be on Wright, and that'll be his third. 15:40 to go. Duke 55 and Baylor 40.
Every day in the U.S., more than 9 people are killed and 1,000 injured in crashes involving a distracted driver. You can't control other motorists, but you can control how you operate your vehicle. Avoid distractions while driving, like texting or checking social media. Brought to you by Trusted Choice Independent Insurance Agents of North Carolina. Learn more at trustedchoice.com/go Duke.
For more information, find your local independent insurance agent at insure-agent.com.
Hey Duke fans, want to enhance your game day experience? Poetry Finance, official digital banking partner of Duke Athletics, is here to help. With Poetry, managing your finances is a breeze. Just download the Poetry app to discover how Poetry Finance can help you. Poetry Finance, write your own future. Start now. Financial tools for everyone. Let us help you get started at poetryfinance.com. That's poetryfinance.com.
Cut time, cut costs, cut grass. Double your runtime with free extra battery deals on Steel tools and cut through your spring cleaning to-do list. Mow, trim, cut, prune. Do it all with Steel battery. Find your deal at your local Steel dealer or shop online at steelusa.com. Get a free extra battery with select Steel tool set. Set includes battery and charger. Extra batteries up to $160 MSRP value. Offer valid for limited time only at participating dealers while supplies last.
Back here in Raleigh, 15:40 to go in this one. The Blue Devils by 15, 55-40. And today's game between Duke and Baylor is presented by Duke Stores. Visit shop.duke.edu where real Duke fans shop. David Shoemate alongside John Roth. John Rose, our producer and engineer. Back inside our network studios is Kyle Schasberger. Of course, Duke is shooting the basketball incredibly well. 63% now for the ball game. 4 of 7 here in the second half. And some of the numbers this year, John Roth, have been historic. When you look at what Duke has been doing, they're 38.4% field goal percentage defense. Baylor's right there, 39% this year. That's the best mark of Duke since 1960. The 61.5 points per game allowed, that's the second best mark since 1951. The scoring margin, they've averaged better than 21.5, tied for the second best mark all time. 358 threes, add 5 to the tally, 363. That's the second most all time. And the free throw percentage is 78.4%. They're 84% today, so it's a little bit better. Third highest all time. I mean, we're trying to give context to what this group has done this year. You don't want to take anything for granted. It has been historic in many ways what John Shire's group is doing.
It certainly has been, and they've had the leading offensive number and the leading defensive number scoring-wise in the ACC all year, and trying to keep that through the tournament, and if so, they would become the first ACC team ever to lead the conference in both scoring offense and scoring defense in the same season. It's hard to believe that's never been done, but it hasn't, and Duke's holding on to that right now as well. And they've not yet given up 80 points in a game yet this year, and that's certainly something they're going to try to maintain today.
Off the inbound, Proctor has it. Caleb Foster back out there. He had a great first half. Add to Patrick Gonga, and he's out there as well. Patrick going to work at the left block, driving through on Love, rises up, and didn't get the roll. The rebound ricocheted around and came out to Jeremy Roche. 15:25 to play. Duke by 15, 55-40. Edgecombe ran into Proctor, and Tyrese is going to get ticketed with the foul, I think. Yep, that'll be his first. The other thing that's notable here in the second half, now Baylor just got that one, but Blue Devils had fought back even on the boards. They're now down by 1, 19-18. As the Bears will inbound on the right sideline. Love with it now. Waiting. Having a hard time. Finally gets it in for Edgecombe. By the way, Wright stays out there with 3 fouls, as does O'Meara for Baylor. Edgecombe lobs it inside. O'Meara deflected away by Gungba. Came to Wright in the corner. 14 to shoot. Back up top with Foster defending. 10 on the timer. Wright trying to drive him. Cannot. Up top, O'Meara. He'll take a 3 over Gungba. Can't hit. Offensive rebound, though, for Love, and a kick out for Wright. He'll drive in on Cooper, rise up from 6 feet out and score. His first points of the second half, and Baylor's back within 13, 55-42, 5 minutes into the second half.
Baylor shooting the ball better in this half, at least to the start. 5 out of 9 from the floor thus far since halftime.
And they've outscored the Blue Devils 12-8 since the break. As Caleb's across midcourt, drifts to the left, sends it back to the right, and Tyrese Proctor. Off of a screen set by Gungbo, whips it to the right, Knipple. A baseline drop all the way in on O'Meara, whistle and a foul, and that's the 4th on Norchad O'Meara. How about that aggressive move by Con Knipple, and that is a huge problem for Baylor.
And Knipple certainly did everything he could to draw that foul as well. Nice work by him, driving inside, hesitating, a little bit of a fake, and getting O'Meara out of position before he crashed into him.
And the 8th best free throw shooter in the country is head to the line for the first time today. Talking about Con Knipple, and he hits it. By the way, speaking of Con, congratulations to us other members of the Knipple clan. Won another title last night at the high school level. The second free throw for Knipple is good. Of course, Con did it a year ago at Wisconsin Lutheran. Been a busy weekend for the Knipple parents flying back and forth.
I thought I saw them over here. Yeah.
Yep, Cherry's over there along the baseline on her feet with the Blue Devils up by 15. 57-42, 14:24 to go. Robert Wright with Foster defending. Leaves it for Jeremy Roach, curling to the right. And now Edgecombe a touch, 12 on the timer, into the paint he goes, whistle and a foul on Proctor on the way by, and that'll be the second on Tyrese. And the third on the Blue Devils since intermission. Baylor's been whistled for 2. By the way, O'Meara is still on the floor with those 4 fouls.
If you're going to go down with your best.
They just don't really have another option in the post. He's 6'7". We saw Dubrovcic in that first half briefly, but it's only the 18th game he's played in. Wright gets it into left corner for Jeremy Roach, trying to drive Cooper, dancing with him. Hesitation dribble, got by on the baseline, couldn't shoot though. Curling around in the paint, put the hand on Cooper's hip, they let it go, and Jeremy lays it in. So Roach has 7, and it's 57-44. 14 minutes to go. Foster across midcourt. Caleb for Cooper Flag. Knipple posting up on Roach on the right. Gets a screen from Cooper. Now Con on the drive. To the left, it's Tyrese Proctor. Plenty of time, 15 to shoot. Tyrese lobs it for Gung at the top of the key. Pat looking inside, not there. Underhand scoop finds Caleb. Looking for the return feed, didn't have it there, so he just drives. Lost out of bounds, they say last touch by Duke. And the 4th turnover gives it back to Baylor with 13:34 to go. John Roth, this place was rocking and rolling late in the first half with the Blue Devils up by 17, but Baylor creeping back into it. Within 13, and still a long way to go.
Yeah, Baylor doing a nice job of being patient and just trying to go at the Blue Devils and get that lead whittled down little by little instead of trying for the big chunk.
The Devils don't have a field goal now in more than 2.5 minutes. As Edgecombe on the right, jumps up over Knipple, can't hit a 3. Cooper's got the rebound. And he'll lead the break. Looks behind him to make sure no one's going to try a back tap. Over to the left, Knipple sets the feed and hits a 3. Con's starting to heat up. He's got 8 and the lead back to 16.
Big one for the Blue Devils, their first 3 here of the second half.
6 of 13 now for the ball game. 60-44, 13 minutes to go. Wright has it on the left, defended by Caleb Foster. A crossover dribble, now they do it. Wants to drive him, threw it into space. O'Meara able to catch it in front of Gongba, 12 to shoot. O'Meara going to work on Pat. Put the elbow into him, spun up, and scored. Norchad O'Meara with 12. He has 6 in each half now, and it's 60-46 with 12:42 to go.
He's just almost impossible to stop when he gets that ball down low and starts making his moves in the paint.
Caleb sends it to the right. There's Tyrese Proctor. On the drive, got a step on Roach, crossed him over, came back up top. Fed it to Cooper now, 14 to shoot. Looking to the left, wants to drive. Step through on O'Meara, banked it up, no. Tap followed, and a foul coming, and he'll shoot 2. I think it's on Celestine. Just such a quick first step for Cooper Flagg.
And Cooper did a nice job when he was out on the perimeter of waving Con Knippel through the lane. And then he just followed Con right behind him to the basket and had an open path after the way Con had cleared it out.
And it was on Celestine, and now Cooper to the line where he is 6 of 7 today. Cooper having words with Celestine. They continue the conversation. Celestine at the left block in the free throw line. Seems amicable. And the first free throw for Cooper wouldn't go. So he'll have one more. Just Blue Devils' 4th miss at the line today in 22 attempts. There's reinforcements coming in. Mason Gillis is back in. Kaman Malowacz returns. Con Knippel, Cooper Flagg, and Sion James all stay. So another free throw, trying to build the lead back to 15. It was 17 at halftime. That was the biggest advantage of the day so far. And the second attempt is good. 18 for Cooper here. Had 14 on Friday afternoon against Mount St. Mary's. And the Blue Devil faithful across the way behind the bench come to their feet, including the president of the university, Vincent Price. And John Shire's father, Jim, doubled over just behind the bench. Meanwhile, up top, Cooper got a hand on the basketball as Roach had it deflect right back to him. Over to the left it goes. Right on the drive. Can't get by Knippel. Rises up. Tough 2. He'll shoot 2. And Knippel has already picked up 3 fouls since the intermission. Fortunately, didn't have any in the first half. But Baylor back to the free throw line, and it's Wright to shoot 2. I told you earlier, he's better than 78% on the year. They are 3 of 4 at the line.
Blue Devils haven't been whistled for that many fouls today, but they've been bunched up with the guys that have picked them up. Flagg with 2, Knippel with 3, and then also Proctor with a couple.
Actually, that's the 3rd foul on Knippel. Proctor was the one who picked up 2 in this half. Still the 3rd on Con. And the first free throw is good for Robert Wright. He's got 8. It's something for the Littles to navigate here in the second half. As John was telling you about the foul difficulty, Baylor has their own problems. O'Meara's got 4, Wright has 3, and Edgecombe and Celestine each have 2. Second free throw for Wright is good. He's got 9. 2 in double figures for John Shire's group. Cooper Flagg has 18. Tyrese Proctor has 13. The lead is 13 with 12 minutes to go. 61-48. Cooper up top for Kaman Malowacz. Further to the right it goes, and Sion James. Back up top. Knippel was open briefly, but O'Meara able to recover defensively. Now Con's going to drop him into the paint, lays it up and in. O'Meara had to back off with those 4 fouls, and Con is the 3rd into double figures. He's got 10, and the lead back to 15, 63-48 with 11:40 to go.
And Con doing a nice job of going right at O'Meara to make him make a decision. Are you going to stop me or are you going to foul me?
Right to the left, Celestine back for Wright. Baylor's been methodical today. As Wright drifts to the right, now wants to drive, bounces one to the left. Nunn thought about a 3, instead he'll go into the paint on Malowacz, and it came off. They fight for the rebound, out of bounds, last touch by the Blue Devils, they say, and we've got another timeout. 11:18 to go, Duke 63 and Baylor 48.
It's tournament time for your Blue Devils. You can show your support of Duke all year long by purchasing authentic Duke merchandise from DukeStore.com. Our huge assortment of Duke apparel means you won't have to go anywhere else for the perfect t-shirt, jersey, sweatshirt, or hat. The only collection of Duke merchandise in the world that actually comes to you directly from Duke University. DukeStore.com, where real Duke fans shop.
Duke plays here.
Flying in, reverses it, up and in for 2.
This is the Blue Devil Sports Network from Learfield.
It's bow time. Sometimes the craving for Bojangles Supremes is so strong you just gotta have them. Even when your gas tank is on empty and Bojangles is still 10 miles down the highway. Nothing beats the flavor of Bojangles Juicy Golden Supremes, especially when they're part of a perfect combo with 4 boldly seasoned chicken Supremes, a made-from-scratch biscuit, fixin', and some legendary iced tea. The only thing that can satisfy your hunger is that delicious southern flavor. So when the craving is supreme, put the pedal to the metal. It's Bo time.
Enjoying the game but not the drink being spilled down your back or the foam finger poking you in the face? Well, head to the concession stand, grab a Lindy's Italian Ice, and take a 6-ounce vacation. A 6-ounce cup of lemon Italian Ice will make you feel like you're swaying in a hammock, and the only thing in your face is a cool, salty breeze. That ought to have you refreshed. Now get your head back in the game and start belting out blue and white with the youthful exuberance of the freshman behind you. Yes, the same one that keeps spilling his drink down your back. Lindy's Italian Ice. Have an ice day.
Back in Raleigh, 11:18 to go in this one. Duke by 15, 63-48. Be sure to catch Duke All Access with head coach Sean Shire Sundays at noon on ABC 11. And don't forget the ABC 11 mobile app. Is your ticket to Duke basketball highlights and the latest from the First Alert forecast. Just tap the app and make it your own from ABC 11. Eyewitness News. I know we're past noon here on a Sunday, but everyone had their DVR set, so you can watch the latest edition when you get home. The penultimate edition of the season.
Right.
One more to go.
Next Sunday, last one.
As the Blue Devils have this 15-point lead. They only trailed by as many as 2 in that first half before they used a 24-6 run to close the half. You can break it apart a couple different ways. There was 10-0 and then 12-0 late in the half to build the lead to 17 at halftime. Here in the second half, it's kind of been a back-and-forth game. Baylor's outscored Duke by 2, 18-16, with 11:18 to go in this one.
Yeah, the 10-0 run at first was important because it got them over the top, gave them a little bit of a lead, but then the 12-0 run at the end of the half was spectacular to try to blow it open a little bit and get the lead to 17 at the break. A lot of spectacular plays in there with a Cooper dunk and a Caleb Foster finish and some good passes, so that one kind of got the fans really going after that first one, got them ahead on the scoreboard.
Today has been about shooting and offensive efficiency. They've taken 16 fewer shots than Baylor, but made the same number of field goals. Each team with 19. Blue Devils 61% from the field, Baylor 40% from the field. Now, the reason Blue Devils don't have as many attempts is they've taken 23 free throws. As off the inbound, Baylor in possession with 17 to shoot. Love has it up top, dancing with Cooper Flagg. To the right, it goes and right, further into the corner for a Celestine 3 to round it out. And the rebound for Cooper Flagg. Baylor 1 of 4 from 3 here in the second half, 5 of 16 for the ballgame. And a chance to add to this 15-point cushion. Cooper has it now. Waiting. Top of the key. He'll drive Celestine. At the left elbow. Back out. Plenty of time. 15 to shoot. Cooper waits. Looks to the right. Kamon sets the screen. Cooper turns it down. Can't hit a 3. The rebound for Love. Here comes right across midcourt. 10:40 to go. On the left, it's Dunn. Or Nunn, excuse me. Sending one to the right and right into the paint. Righty floater. No, too strong. Gillis the rebound this time. And an outlet pass for Sion James. 10.5 minutes to go. 63-48. The Blue Devils looking to make it to the Sweet 16 next Thursday night in Newark. Knippel off of the screen, set by Malowacz. To the baseline, got airborne, kicked across court. Dangerous pass. It came to James, and he's bailed out on a foul as Love crashed into him. I would say probably Kahn was the guy who was bailed out more than anybody. It wasn't the best pass, and James kind of saved it. Team foul number 4 on Baylor here in the second half. Duke has been whistled for 4 as well. And with 10:15 to go, Knippel inbound sideline right. As back into the ballgame comes Jeremy Roach. The former Duke product today, 3 of 8 from the field. Hit his first 3, has missed his last 2 since. Flag for Knippel, top of the key. A screen from Kamon on the left. Drives, lobs, Kamon punches that thing down.
Boy, have we seen that this year. The con to Kamon, pick and roll, lob, dunk, finish. It just never tires of working.
And the lead back where it was at halftime, 17, as we drift past the midway point of the second half. 65-48. Roach waiting, still waiting, crossing over, sends it over to the left, and Celestine into the corner. Love can't shoot over Cooper. 10 on the timer, drives him instead, waits, back up top. Omier will try another 3 and hit that one. Just his 20th of the season. He's got 15. And Baylor's back within 14, 65-51 with 9:33 to go. Sion James Waiting, drifts to the right, bounces one for Knippel. Up top, Cooper Flagg now. Looks to the right, not there. Dribbles that way. Crosses over, back to the left on Celestine. Lobs it to the left for a Gillis three. Good. Mason Gillis has his first field goal. And the Blue Devils answer at 68-51 as we approach 9 minutes to play. Baylor's been very deliberate running their offense today, John Roth. You wonder if they're going to have to pick up the pace a little bit. Meanwhile, there's debris on the floor. Chris Carroll, the associate coach, out to get the confetti that came down. As Roach goes on the drive on Malawach. Wild scoop. No, Kaman's got the rebound. Jeremy Roach had to arch his body to get away from the shot blocker and couldn't hit. And we're under 9 minutes now. Sion James on the right. Waiting, back up top. Cooper a three. Wouldn't go. And the rebound for O'Meara. 68-51 still, though. Love quickly down court. Lobs it to the right. Nunn back up top. O'Meara wants another one. No. Long rebound for Nunn. Back out to the left. Roach. They're just shooting threes now. That won't go. And the rebound for Malawach. A lot of offensive sets going on for Baylor. As we approach 8 minutes to play, the Blue Devils up by 17.
Knocked down a couple of those, and they're feeling a lot better about themselves, but now the Blue Devils have a chance to just extend the lead.
Not really their game. They make a little more than 8 per game. Of course, the Blue Devils make more than 10. As James finds Kahn, top of the key, crossing over on O'Meara. Into the paint, rises up and scores. Just a really intelligent basketball player. He's got 12. Knowing O'Meara has 4, drive him. He's not going to swipe at you. And Kahn took it confidently, and the Blue Devils have their biggest lead of the day, 70-51. And Scott Drew wants to talk about it. 7:50 to go. The Blue Devils starting to sense a trip to Newark maybe on the horizon as we step aside here in Raleigh.
Oh, what a great camping trip for the Williams family. It was epic, Zach. And this week's MVP was their 2024 Ford Bronco SUV, Matt. Absolutely. It hauled everything and everyone to this great spot by the lake. And get them back in time for the big game. Yeah, let's go! Let's go. With the Ford Bronco or Bronco Sport SUV on your team, it's game on. For the latest offers, go to buyfordnow.com or see your Carolina Ford dealer today.
Which of us, detective, do you suspect is the millionaire?
The evidence is everywhere. Your diamond necklace, Monty's new yacht, and the butler's new convertible. Admit it, you're all Maximilian scratch-off winners.
Of course we are. With 25 prizes of $1 million, you could be too.
New Maximilian from the North Carolina Education Lottery. Must be 18 to play. Approximate overall odds of winning are 1 in 2.95. Problem gambling helpline 877-718-5543.
FanDuel Sports Network is your new home for your home teams.
That's what I'm talking about!
Watch all the big hits.
Oh, mercy!
Big shots.
What a dime!
Big goals.
He scores!
All in one place.
Are you kidding me?
For coverage of Blue Devils athletics, the Carolina Hurricanes, and the Charlotte Hornets, visit FanDuelSportsNetwork.com today and watch all season long.
From Raleigh, second round action in the NCAA tournament. Duke leads Baylor 70-51 with 7:50 to go in the contest. Let's check out our in-game stats presented by Steel. Trusted steel power in the palm of your hand. Visit your local Steel dealer or shop online at steelusa.com. Quick recap of the scoring for Duke. Flagg with 18, Proctor with 13, and Knippel with 12. Those are the double-figure scores. Blue Devils shooting 56% in this half and 61% for the game. And they've made 7 threes so far in this contest, and they've really dominated at the free throw line. That's a big point of the scoreboard right now. Duke 19 out of 23 from the line in this contest compared to 5 out of 6 for Baylor. Baylor's leading scorer remains O'Meara with 15 on 7 out of 12 shooting, while Edgecombe, their freshman guard, has 11 on 4 out of 10 shooting, and they're shooting 42% in this half and 2 for 7 from three-point range. Rebounding dead even at 24 apiece, as are points in the paint. The Blue Devils and the Bears, 26 points apiece in the paint. Blue Devils have continued to take care of the basketball. Only 4 turnovers that they've committed in this contest so far, as they have a 19-point lead heading down the stretch.
I mean, you look at this tournament, John Roth, I know it's early. 33 assists and 6 turnovers so far.
Wow.
That is efficiency, I think.
Of course, after a 21-2 to open, it's going to look good for a while. Yeah.
Baylor with only one timeout the rest of the way after burning one here after falling down by 19. Celestine can't hit a three out of the timeout. The ball hit Gillis in the head and went back out of bounds. And I'm exhausted. The players are too. Let's take another timeout. 7:41 to go. The Blue Devils by 19, 70-51.
He'll fire, and it's good!
This is Duke head men's basketball coach John Shire. When it comes to keeping our team healthy, we turn to the team at Duke Sports Medicine. We offer full-service sports medicine care at locations throughout the Triangle, where you can see the same experts used by Duke Athletics. Make an appointment or learn more at dukehealth.org/sportsmedicine. Go Duke.
The crowd loves that.
You're listening to Duke basketball in the NCAA tournament. We'll have more from the Lenovo Center after this local timeout.
Whether you're in the market for a new boat or just need service or accessories for an existing boat, turn to Overby Marine. Now with 2 locations in Kittrell and Lake Gaston, Overby Marine offers the highest quality of marine products and services, including the latest from Sea Ray, Centurion, Avalon, Bennington, as well as Cobalt boats. Overby Marine also offers the largest selection of parts in the region, along with full-service facilities at their 2 locations. Stop by or give them a call at 252-586-3593 or online at overbymarine.com. Overby Marine. Don't let adventure pass you by.
This is Coke Zero Sugar. Could I be the best Coke ever? Try and taste with your ears. Hear those bubbles? Imagine them tingling on your tongue. Fizzy deliciousness. Listen to that cascading liquid. A mouth-watering waterfall. Irresistibly tasty. Zero sugar. Crisp, refreshing, and ice cold. Is Coke Zero Sugar the best Coke ever? Try and decide.
Back here in Raleigh, the Blue Devils by 19, 70-51 with 7:41 to go. And Blue Devil basketball is brought to you in part by Coca-Cola. Crisp, refreshing, and irresistibly tasty. Is Coke Zero Sugar the best Coke ever? Try and decide. While we have a moment, 10 seconds for station identification. This is Duke basketball from Learfield. It has in many ways been a tournament defined by the heavyweights, John Roth. And the Blue Devils certainly showing out here. Still a little ways to go, 7:41 to go, but they would be the 4th number 1 seed to advance to the second weekend after Auburn and Houston won yesterday. Some nervy moments for the Cougars at the end as they bounced Gonzaga. And then we saw Florida push to the brink today against Connecticut in the first game here in Raleigh. West region action. The Gators actually trailed coming out of the under 4 timeout, but ripped off a 12-3 run, I think it was, to seize control and eliminate the 2-time defending national champions.
In Houston, relying on 30 points from L.J. Cryer last night. He began his career at Baylor and helped them win the 2021 national championship before he transferred to Houston. So he's looking to try to move on in two different teams in the NCAAs.
Baylor with it out of the timeout. Edgecombe driving on Gillis, put the shoulder into him, fades away and scores. So VJ Edgecombe has 13, makes it 70-53 with 7.5 minutes to go and full court pressure for Baylor. Knipple for Gillis, over to the left and James. So many different guys can handle the basketball for John Shire's group. It's just a very difficult team to press, and they break it easily. James now defended by Nunn up top. Looks to the right, gives it to Tyrese Proctor. And now further to the left it goes to Gillis. A lob to the right, Proctor. A jab step on O'Meara. Steps back and hits again. Tyrese Proctor with his 4th three of the ball game. He's got 16. And the lead grows to 20 for the first time today, 73-53, as we well under 7 minutes to play. Tyrese 4 of 5 from 3 now. Driving, floating, and not hitting is right. They fight for the rebound. Sion has it. And now, very content to work the clock with 6:40 to go.
How about Tyrese? 16 out of 27 from 3 his last 3 games.
That'll work. He's equaled his career high in each of the last 2 games with 6 threes. 4 now. Ooh, thought about a 35-footer. Oh, he fell down. He rolled his ankle. Back to his feet, though. Looks to be okay. They send it to the right for Nunn. And now back up top. Love will take a 3. No. The rebound ricocheted out for Edgecombe. Back to Nunn. He'll take this one and hit it on the right. And John Shire might be looking for a timeout just with that scary fall for Tyrese with 6:10 to go.
Tyrese looks to be moving okay on it.
73-56. Cooper set to check back in. Gillis trying to break the pressure, gets it in for Proctor. Back to Gillis. And now James has it. As we watch Tyrese jog in front of us. It was a scary fall, but he looks to be all right, as you said.
He popped up really quickly.
James. Waiting. Half the shot clock is gone. Proctor again. Off of a screen set by Malowacz. A bruising screen. How about another three? Oh, yeah! Proctor's got 5. 19 points. Back to a 20-point lead. 5.5 minutes to go. Edgecombe spinning up top. Omir trying to drop Malowacz. Scoop. Can't hit. The rebound for Gillis. Out of bounds. Last touch by the Blue Devils as he couldn't control it on the baseline. Proctor was asked earlier this week about playing in this building. Obviously, NC State was the team that eliminated the Blue Devils last year in the Elite Eight, and it was a game that saw Proctor go scoreless. He hasn't been scoreless in his 2 games in this building. 19 apiece. 6 threes on Friday, 5 more here this afternoon as Wright goes inside and can't score. Omir, an offensive rebound. Going back up on Malowacz. No again, and the rebound for Cooper. And with just over 5 minutes to go, Duke is up by 20, 76-56. Proctor hanging on the left corner. Perhaps a 6-3 on the horizon. Knipple has it now. Off of a screen set by Malowacz. Kicks to the left. Proctor again. Dagger! It's been the Tyrese Proctor show. And he's ready to set sail for the Sweet 16.
3 straight games, matching a career high of 6 threes.
4.5 minutes to go. Love on the drive, got it on James and laid it in. His first points of the second half give him 8 for the ball game. 79-58, 4:20 to go. Let's go Duke is the chant. Proctor, 6 of 7 today from 3 after going 6 of 8 yesterday. My goodness.
Holy cow.
See on James for Cooper flag. Now Knipple off of a Cooper screen. Drives to the right. Malowacz. They're trying to get it to Proctor. Edgecombe denying that. 12 to shoot. A handoff for Knipple. Nearly lost it. Out of bounds. Last touch by Baylor. And that's going to take us to our final timeout. 3:59 to go. Duke up by 21, 79-58.
At Progressive, we know money can't buy you happiness. But money did help you buy an RV, which means an excuse from working Saturday with your insufferable coworker, Dave. So money is helping you listen to birds chirp instead of Dave chirping about how his toddler is fluent in 3 languages. And it's also why you'll be smelling pine trees in the air, not Dave's tuna melt reheating in a microwave. So save money by bundling your RV or boat insurance with home or auto from Progressive and buy more happiness, or something close to it. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers. Not available in all states.
It's that time of year again. My schedule is packed with bracket busting, 3-point shooting, non-stop basketball action. I don't want to miss a second of it. That's why I go for a 5-hour energy shot. They're perfect for my days packed with back-to-back games or when my favorite team's playing late. 5-hour energy keeps me going during the broadcast and the next morning when I need to get myself up and to work. Visit 5hourenergy.com for great deals and to stock up before tip-off.
You know what I love about spring? It's the season of change, and that means it's time for a closet refresh. Enter Kohl's. With the extra 15% off they have going on, I saved on the latest styles for my entire family, like a cute dress for myself, linen shorts for my husband, and spring jackets for my kids. Just add sunshine and we're set. All thanks to Kohl's. Select styles, some exclusions apply. 15% offer ends March 23rd. See store or Kohls.com for details.
Tyrese Proctor continuing to put on a show as the Blue Devils now lead by 21, 79-58, 3:59 to go in the second half over Baylor.
Knipple has it now. Off of a screen set by Malowacz. Kicks to the left. Proctor again. Dagger! It's been the Tyrese Proctor show. And he's ready to set sail for the Sweet 16.
3 straight games, matching a career high of 6 threes.
And approaching a new career high, potentially in scoring as well, David, with 22, 8 of 9 overall from the floor.
And it's been awfully impressive. Proctor with 6 of the 10 threes for the team now, as they continue to shoot better than 60% overall, 25 of 39. And they're 19 of 23 at the line in this ball game. Which reminds us to tell you that Food Line is a proud sponsor of the Score. To get more program for each free throw the Blue Devils make in today's game, Food Line Feeds will donate 100 meals to a local area food bank. Well, John Roth, when the tournament began, the expectation was, obviously, as the 1 seed and the number 2 overall seed in the tournament, that the Blue Devils would be in Newark in the Sweet 16. But as you know, we all know over the years, it's no sure thing. And John Shire's group, it's been anything but a steady ship the last 2 weeks with all the injuries they've had to navigate. But he and his staff have done it masterfully, and now they are on their way to Newark, up by 21 with just under 4 minutes to go.
Yeah, they have navigated it like it's been a steady ship. Even with all the distractions and disruptions and injury, things that have happened, they've stayed the course for sure. And now they have one more port to go to in this tournament.
I like that as Cooper spins on the baseline on Roach, puts it off the window, around and out. Nearly got his own rebound, but out of there with it is VJ Edgecombe. Across midcourt on Isaiah Evans. He's fouled and will shoot 2. As Isaiah picks up his first. And VJ Edgecombe looking for points 14 and 15 on the afternoon at the Charity Stripe. He and Omer, the only 2 in double figures. Those 2 have combined to go 12 of 25 from the field. The rest of their team is 13 of 37. And the freshman out of the Bahamas hits the first free throw. It was a 10-0 run when the Blue Devils were trailing by 1 midway through the first half. And actually just under 8 minutes to go. They put them up by 9, and then a 12-0 run to finish the half. That put them up by 17 at the break. And they've really never been threatened here in the second half. Baylor got as close as 13. The Blue Devils have pushed it out as far as 23, and right now it's 20 as Edgecombe went 1 out of 2. 3.5 minutes to go. Malowacz for Foster. The trap comes at him, whips it inside for Cooper, spins, waits, found Malowacz. He spins, goes up and scores. Just too big. It's been a theme this year for John Shire's group.
And another great pass from Cooper Flagg to his fellow freshman.
81-59 as we approach 3 minutes to play. Edgecombe on the drive, able to scoop it off the window. So he's now their leading scorer with 16. 81-61 as we head into the final 3 minutes here in Brawley. Fair number of the Duke faithful to pack this place, still taking it in. Some have gotten an early start on the drive home. On the left, Tyrese. Does he have another one? Wow! A new career high for Proctor. 25 points and 7 threes.
Proctor, 9 out of 10 shooting today. Oh, boy.
84-61. Love an answer from the left wing and a timeout taken by Baylor. As he's in the double figures with 11. They say it's a rolling timeout, so we'll keep it here with 2:35 to go. And it's 84-64. Proctor, over the course of the last 2 days, is now 13 of 16 from 3. And 15 of 19 from the field. And a curtain call. And a hug from the head coach as Proctor implores everybody to get on their feet. You think he's ready to make a run?
He's making a run right now, that's for sure. Oh, my goodness.
First player since 2010 with 5+ threes in back-to-back games. You know who the other guy was?
I think the guy just gave him a hug. And he had 5 of those in the Baylor game in the Elite 8 that year.
A full circle moment. And, of course, Proctor reclassified to be a part of John Shire's first team. He's been with him the entire way. And he's about to carry him into the Sweet 16 for the second time in as many years. Foster with it now, looking to the right. There's Gillis. He'll launch up top and hit. His second 3. Their 12th. And it's 87-64 with 2 minutes to go. Roach probing on the left baseline. Steps through once, twice, back up top. Love. Waiting. He'll drive on Foster. Step through to the baseline. Back up top for Wright. Darren Harris is out there now. Wright drives him, floats, and can't hit. O'Meara had the rebound, was hit in the face by Gungba, so he'll shoot free throws as Pat picks up number 2. Told you about Darren, the freshman out of Herndon, Virginia. John Ross with 1:43 to go. Obviously, Duke is the focal point of our story here today, but we're also watching the end of the career for Jeremy Roach, who spent so much time as a part of this Duke program, and all the messages this week were about Love, as Langston Love can't hit a 3 on the left. Harris has the rebound. A lot of respect, a lot of shared admiration between these two teams, and some fond memories for number 3 out there, even though he is playing for Baylor today.
No question, as a freshman helping the Blue Devils to the Final Four in 2022 in Coach K's last season, and then being kind of that key bridge player between the Coach K era and the John Shire era.
And remember, his first year was the COVID season and everything that came with that. As Foster drives and scores with the right hand off the window. Caleb now has 6, 89-64 with 1:10 to go. But this has been Tyrese Proctor's day. As Wright is fouled by Caleb up top. That'll get some subs in. Baylor getting their regular rotation guys out. And listen to the roar as Spencer Hubbard's coming in. It actually serves as almost a roar for the Baylor curtain call as well, as the Los Angeles product wearing number 55 is in, as is Neil Begovic, the grad student from San Francisco. And Sheffield comes in as well. Cameron Sheffield, the grad student that came over from Rice. Foster, Gongba, and Gillis all head out. And Wright will shoot a 1-and-1, as that was his 7th team foul.
O'Meara getting a big hug from all the Baylor staff members over there. Obviously, his 1 year here after a great career at Miami. Actually, he'd also been at Arkansas State as well, but certainly a great year for him with Baylor this year. In his last contest today, just short of an 11th straight double-double, 15 points and 9 rebounds.
Wright makes them both 89-66, 1 minute to go in Raleigh. Evans on the left will launch. That one wouldn't go. The rebound tapped into the air, claimed by Baylor. And here comes Robert Wright across midcourt into the final 50 seconds. Crossing over on Hubbard, drifts to the left, takes the 3, can't hit. Long rebound chased down by Baylor briefly. Into the corner it goes and out of bounds. And over to Duke with 40.4 to go. As the officials say it was deflected, and now they're going to say Baylor ball. With 18 to shoot. Doesn't really matter in a 23-point game.
40 seconds overall, 18 on the clock.
This will be win number 33 for John Shire's group this year. And they're 13th in a row. Baylor's emptied out their bench a little bit. Adibola, the jumper that wouldn't go. The rebound for Begovic. About a second, the differential, the shot clock, the game clock. Will they let him shoot? John Shire saying hold out in your midcourt. I don't think they will shoot. And a fist bump between the head coach and the associate head coach, John Shire, Chris Carrawell. They've been in it together. The head coach turns around and salutes this crowd here at the Lenovo Center. There's going to be a shot clock violation before the final horn, as the final score will be 89-66. And with 9/10 of a second to go, Baylor have to inbound one more time. Everybody on their feet, though. Next stop, Newark, as the Blue Devils sail through to the Sweet 16. 89-66, the final score. Duke knocks out Baylor, and for the 30th time in program history, they are on to the Sweet 16. We'll visit with the player here courtside. Tyrese Proctor had 25, including a career-high 7 threes. 25 is his career high in scoring. Cooper Flagg had 18. Con Knipple had 12. As the Blue Devils blistered the Nets in Raleigh, 64% they shot, including 54% from 3, 12 out of 22. In the second half, they were 7 out of 12. 5 of 10 at halftime. Just way too much as they roll past the Bears, 89-66. As we told you, 3 in double figures. And the headliner was the junior out of Sydney, Australia. An impressive showing, John Raw.
Oh, no question. Tyrese Proctor, he told everybody earlier in this tournament that the end of the way the last season ended was certainly fuel for him with that loss to NC State in the Elite Eight. The fact that he didn't have a very good game in that